till they say, real in every way.
Hi, my name is Ty, and I am a fashionista.
Hi, my name's Dolly Wright, and I'm a singer, but I waitress for a living.
Hi, I'm Alicia, aka Catalina Winehouse with Ichigo.
Hi everybody, my name's David Thomas. What I am is a QMHA. I work with people with mental health issues, and I also do a Tina Turner show with the Big Elvis Show at the Piano Bar.
Hi, my name is Maria Pureza Levinthal. I am the founder of Social Media Show.
Hello everybody, I am Kiki Dolas. I am the CEO of Are You It Entertainment here in Las Vegas, and I'm also a club owner.
Hi, I'm Latoria Kern, founder and director of Family Arts at Wayla's Creation.
Hi, my name is Dawn Weir. I'm the founder of The Giving Water, a local nonprofit that delivers water to disasters and people in need.
Hi, my name is Dolores Olsen. I'm a home-based business person for Zija.
Hi, welcome everyone today to our episode of Honeybees. My name is Ty, and I'm joined by the lovely Tabitha.
And the lovely Hornet.
JC. Yes. And we are so excited and thankful that you decided to tune in today. We've already seen a few comments. Thank you. Thank you to Dolly and Dejana for starting off our comments today. We appreciate it. So we hope you're off to a wonderful start today, and let's touch base with everyone and see how everyone is doing. Oh my gosh, Tabitha, where did that ice cream come from?
I know. I was worried.
Now I'm going to choke on it. Oh my God.
Don't choke.
No. Choke on the chocolate chip. I'm having a sad day.
Oh,
so
no.
I'm comforting myself with ice cream.
Oh.
And what a better place to do it than here.
Oh, goodness. Oh, okay. What flavor is that? Is that like
Mint chocolate chip.
mint chocolate chip?
Mint
Breyers?
chocolate chip. Breyers.
Looks delicious. Do they make it in vegan flavor?
What I heard is that they do have a cookies and cream vegan. That's fantastic.
It is so good.
Goodness.
I haven't tried it.
Yeah, Breyers makes cookies and cream, vegan ice cream, a non-dairy,
Dripping.
a non-dairy option, and they also make like another one or two flavors. But that cookies and cream, slamming.
Yes.
Like
That's rad.
it's hard to find vegan chocolate chips, chocolate cookies and cream. Cookies and cream in general.
Right.
So when I stumbled across that, I was like,
You're like,
in
yes.
heaven, ice cream heaven. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So anyways, well, enjoy your ice cream.
Oh my gosh. I love that the top part is slightly tilted, and so that's getting me worried.
It's getting me worried, actually. It's like melting, and I'm like,
I
oh my
know,
God.
it's at a-
Where'd you start the show? Because my
it's-
ice cream needs to be licked.
It's gonna be dripped on us.
Well, I'll just, lean in for the
I
drip.
know, for the drip.
Lean in for the drip.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
drip,
gosh.
drip,
You
drip.
guys are so funny.
Oh
so
my
funny.
goodness.
What's your favorite flavor, JC?
My favorite flavor is Cherry Garcia. I love cherry flavor.
Cool. Is that Ben
Cherry
and
and-
Jerry's?
Yes,
Ben Jerry's?
yeah. So cherry and chocolate. I love it. I love it.
Oh, nice.
And also caramel. I love caramel.
Really? We like opposite stuff. I like, my favorite is chocolate fudge from 31 Flavors.
Oh.
Chocolate fudge. Okay,
Chocolate
cool.
fudge. And then, but I also like sherbet, like rainbow sherbet.
Oh, I used to when I was a kid.
I know. Well,
When I
that's
was a
exactly
kid.
right. And I love
Totally.
strawberry because my mom used to make us strawberry ice cream.
Oh, from
like
scratch.
yes. And so I love to make ice cream. And I haven't done it in a little while. But anyway, she used to always make strawberry, and I loved it. So that's why I like that one more for the nostalgia of it. But have you guys
Nice.
ever made ice cream at home?
Well, my grandma used to make homemade ice cream from scratch, like in one of those like old school like wooden bucket things.
Yes.
Have you guys seen that?
My mom had when I
It's
was
like
little.
an old wooden bucket. It was an old wooden bucket, and like she had some rock. My grandma had rock salt.
Yes,
and
rock
you have to
salt.
do some stuff or whatever. But man,
Oh,
that ice cream
wow.
was so good. Homemade ice cream was the best ice cream. Like,
I've never had
Like,
homemade
totally.
ice cream.
Oh my
Really?
God! I'll make
Do you
some
guys-
ice cream.
Do you guys have do you have ice cream in the Philippines?
Oh yes, yeah. Ice cream is big in the
Yeah, do
Philippines.
you even have ice cream in the Philippines?
Yes, we do.
I'm just
do that
curious.
We do.
I don't know.
The ice cream is made with
Carabao.
Oh my God, I can't
Oh,
do that.
caribou milk.
I can't do
Okay.
it. I can't do it.
Okay, cool. So then.
Well, not all.
Oh, he's like not the kind he ate.
Majority, 90%.
He's
But,
he ate the bougie kind.
So back in the
Those are the
Philippines,
bougie kind.
we have two types of. We have three types of ice cream brands.
Okay.
Magnolia.
Made with caribou milk.
Okay. Selecta.
Made with caribou milk.
And Arce, whom I had the privilege of getting to know the owner, during my mom's. It was the day after my mom's memorial service. I got invited by my uncle, and the lady I didn't know that she owned the ice cream.
Oh, really?
The whole, company and everything. And she,
Wow.
yeah, and she was like, "Which flavor would you like?" I said, "This or I like
And
this."
ice cream eras.
Yeah,
I
ice cream
see.
heiress.
Oh.
And then they told, "Do you know who she is?" I didn't know. Her name is on the label.
gosh.
I'm like, "Oh,
You're like,
okay."
"Wow, I didn't know."
Her name
That's
is
so cute.
on the label.
Francis
Oh my
said that
gosh.
he thinks gelato is vegan. Is that vegan?
Gelato.
I'm not sure because I think I heard that it wasn't, but we
No
could
idea.
check. We could check. I
Right.
think some sherbets might not.
Oh, I love sherbet.
might not have the dairy
Yeah.
in it, but because
hear you.
but between vegetarian / veganism getting more and more popular, and there's more people who are finding out that they're like either lactose intolerant or allergic to milk or whatever.
Right.
There's more of a demand for non-dairy ice cream options.
Not with me though.
And
It's not a demand with me.
Oh, and
I demand my dairy.
She demands her dairy.
I demand my dairy.
let the cows keep their milk for their babies.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Like, yeah, I agree with you, but I'm not there yet.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yes.
But whenever you want to try, even Baskin Robbins, a mainstream ice cream place, finally got some vegan ice cream.
Really?
They have about the daiquiri ice is vegan.
love
They
it.
have a chocolate chip cookie dough that is
Really?
on point.
Okay.
And they have a chocolate extreme. And those are so good. So if you're ever at
Wow.
Baskin Robbins and just want to try a non-dairy option, or if you're
Right.
hanging out with someone that doesn't do dairy for whatever reasons,
Right.
you can stop by Baskin Robbins. They usually have at least one or maybe two flavors. And the Froyo places now are starting to
What's
also.
a froyo?
Oh, Froyo. The frozen
I
yogurt
love it.
places like Sweet Frog and Mint
Uh-huh.
Cheese. And out here there's one down the street. I can't remember what
I
it's
don't
called.
Froyo.
I'm still
I don't even know
new
about
here.
that life.
But, is Froyo Bushi?
Oh, Froyo.
Is Froyo
I really
Bushi?
Froyo.
eat a lot of sweets, and so the fact that I'm eating ice cream is just kind of out of sorts, and so I just don't search for those kinds of things.
Oh,
But-
yeah. Froyo is like one of the maybe newer dessert crazes. So you
no
can
idea.
go into a frozen yogurt place. Froyo is short for frozen yogurt.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And you walk into these places, and they have like 20 different flavors on the wall. And you get your cup, and you can
Yeah.
Really?
put whatever flavors you want in your cup. And then at the end, there's a the station where you put your toppings on there, and they have all kinds of toppings, like not just rainbow sprinkles and chocolate sprinkles, but Oreos and gummy worms and Swedish fish and coconut and shredded coconut,
Yum.
all
Sounds kind
kinds.
of like Cold Stone to me. I've been to Cold Stone,
Oh,
but
really?
they
I've
squish
never-
it in.
Uh-huh.
Do you know the squishing part? Where
No.
they put it on like a cold slab of marble, I'm assuming,
Uh-huh.
and then like you pick your toppings and they squish it in for you.
Oh, really?
And then they put it in your
Oh.
cup or your bowl or whatever. But so I guess it's just a different way of delivering.
Oh,
goodies.
okay,
Oh, wow.
okay, nice. That's cool. I've never had Cold Stone because by the time I heard of Cold Stone, I was already a vegan, and I heard they
Right.
didn't have vegan ice cream. I think I called or something, and they didn't have any vegan ice cream, so never had a reason to go. Much love, bye, Dolores. So yeah, it was. But yeah, so frozen yogurt. Yeah, so you guys should get out and try it sometime. It's
Yummy,
hot
yummy,
enough
yummy.
now, and there's all kinds of flavors. And the frozen yogurt places have usually now at least 1 to 2, excuse me, non-dairy options as well.
Look at them accommodating you.
Yeah, isn't that
so
great?
That's why.
No,
They're like, well,
Thank
Ty's
you.
gonna need some of this, so
I
let's
know.
just make it available.
I
I know,
know.
right? So
Speaking about looking pretty and
Yes.
eating ice cream at the same time, there's a boutique ice cream place in Chinatown.
oh, really?
In the more gentrified version of Chinatown.
Oh, okay.
It's,
Do tell.
It's like a little boutique gourmet ice cream, and of course,
Oh.
the young people go like fall in line just to reserve a seat in that place. And
That sounds cool.
their ice cream, the way they present it to you, they're like works of art.
Oh, really?
And you look at the ice cream and you're like, am I gonna eat this or not? Luckily, it tastes much better than the way it looks. I'm like, oh.
Even so,
Really?
even though it's like a work of art.
Yeah.
So can you
yeah.
imagine like having Tyre with you
Yes.
at a restaurant?
Yes.
Us looking like a piece of art,
Uh-huh.
and then your dessert is served, and it again is a piece of
piece
art.
of art,
It's a
yeah.
fucking artful evening, as far as I'm concerned.
I'll
You
take the
know?
pink metallic globe looking ice cream. I'm into pink
Right?
metals.
That's awesome.
I know, right? You're like, wait
Yeah.
a minute, wait a
That's
minute.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love you
Yes,
for it.
we must go
Can't even hate on that.
and we must feature it on Honeybees.
That would be
You're so
fun.
cute.
That would be
Yes.
lots of fun indeed. And you know, there is one spot over there. Well, there's one place, really good sushi spot over there. I'm trying to remember, like, it starts with an H, I think, but they were really good.
Ho, ho, ho. I'm just kidding.
But it started, but I only went, like, had a chance to go once before everything, like, shut down. And so, like, I have the name of it somewhere in my head or somewhere. I think I took
Well,
a picture
they're
of the car, but it was
opened
really
again.
good. And, but the coolest, the best donut shop is in that area.
Oh, wow.
Ronald's Donuts. Has anyone heard of
Oh,
Ronald's
no,
Donuts?
no.
Ronald's Donuts is
In
over
Chinatown?
Who the fuck is Ronald?
I don't know who he is, but he
Right.
makes some good
Chinatown.
How
donuts.
does Ronald even go
But
with
it-
donuts?
And
It
then-
doesn't even sound like it goes
it's
together.
like we're all going to Elaine's. Elaine who?
Right, Elaine. Who's Elaine?
But Ronald's got great donuts.
Okay.
Because
Oh.
That is too much sugar for me. I can barely do a Dunkin' Donuts donut when I'm going to do my morning after lives, and I don't know why I crave that. Because I don't even like them. But tell me more. I'm sorry. I
yeah,
was
it's
interrupted.
like so Ronald's Donuts. I think it's on like Spring Mountain.
Mountain? Yeah, Spring Mountain.
Spring Mountain. Yeah, and they have. I mean, it doesn't look like an all that place. Like I'm not, it just looks like an average place. But the donuts are so good, and they have about 3 or 4 like levels in their 2 big donut cases. And the awesome thing is that for people who are vegan or don't want any animal product in their donuts, the first 2 rows all the way across both
All the way
sections
across?
are vegan. Yes,
all the way
yes.
across.
Oh yeah, Spring Mountain, 4600 Spring Mountain.
I wonder if that's the new
4600 Spring Mountain.
place.
It's not new. It's been there. It's been there for a while.
Oh my
but
gosh.
they make. Oh my gosh, their
What
donuts
makes a donut
are
good
so
though?
And it's
like
my
what to you makes a
neighborhood.
donut good? Because they're just too much for me. Like
It's
this
too much
is
for
too
you?
much.
Oh.
Well, I mean, okay. Well, for people who eat a vegan diet or
Crave
don't want
sweets.
it's like it's hard to find donuts for people like us because
You're like, it's
Krispy
hard to
Kreme
find
doesn't have
donuts.
vegan donuts, Dunkin' Donuts doesn't have vegan donuts, like. And your local bakery, like at a grocery store, whatever, they
Right,
don't have
they don't
vegan
care.
donuts. So I actually heard of this place before I even moved here. I heard of this place
Oh my
from
gosh.
friends who came here to Vegas, and they were like, "You're moving to Vegas?"
So this
oh
is
my
what
gosh.
drew you to Vegas, this donut place.
Yeah, the donuts.
Ronald
whatever
did
it
it.
takes,
Yeah.
The donuts.
Ronald
But
did it.
Their stuff, their like anyone looking for some vegan donuts, whenever
Ronald
you come to
and his
visit or
donuts.
if you
Ronald
live
and
here,
his
go to
donuts.
Ronald's
Yeah.
Donuts, Spring Mountain Road. Their donuts are just like they're soft and sweet and moist and
Soft and sweet and moist. Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Oh
Are we
my-
talking about me?
I know. Oh
Okay,
my
I guess we're
Lord.
talking about donuts, but whatever.
My
you know-
virgin ears.
but you know, even if you but even if you're not a vegan, if you tasted their donuts, I don't think you would taste any difference. You would just be like, look, I would like 2 glazed twists, I would like a chocolate cover, this and that, and you probably wouldn't even taste the difference. I mean, because I wasn't always a vegan, and I remember Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme and all that stuff, but these donuts on point.
I hear you.
And they're
Nice.
reasonably priced. A lot of times, healthier food can cost a lot of money. Trying to eat healthy costs more money.
Yeah.
But it's sad. It's sad that it costs so much money to eat. If you just want something,
That's a little more in depth than just sticking a Pop-Tart in there.
So
Right.
but they're reasonably priced. They're not trying to charge an arm and a leg for their
Nice.
their lovely vegan
nice,
delicacies that everybody loves. When I go in there, there's always people in there. They always have. I'm never the only one in there. I don't think I've ever been in there.
And can you eat there? Are there tables set up?
Yes,
or
they do have a
just,
few tables. They do.
My life now consists of me wanting to go places, where I can sit at a fucking table. I'm like, can
For
we
real.
go in? Are there tables?
Yes, for
And
real.
we
Are there
can sit
tables?
in them. Like the pool where we're at the rec center. Like, there's no chairs. Like, you have to make an appointment to go to the pool, and you have to go at your certain time, and then there's no goddamn chairs, and then you have to wear a mask if you're. I'm just like, fuck
Wear a
my life.
mask?
Like, there's nobody at the pool. It's just not the same. So I'm
Yeah.
looking for tables. I'm looking for lawn chairs. I'm looking for places where I can sit
Yeah.
and be normal.
Okay.
So I don't know, but that's
Awesome.
discouraging.
We need to give a shout out. We need to give a shout out, producer.
The producer, the director,
Today's
okay.
probably not the day for that.
somebody.
Okay.
Today's we'll just.
We
I think
thank
she
you
was
for
just-
tuning in.
Thank
All
you.
of you. Amy and everyone.
Everyone.
We appreciate the love. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Thank you so much.
I
Yes.
love you. You're so correct.
And it doesn't matter from which side of the political persuasion you're from.
Yeah. We're all Americans.
Yeah, we're all Americans.
Lord, tell
We're
me
all
about your guys'
Americans.
We need to get caught up.
Oh
Now
my
that
gosh.
We've gone on a
But
tangent
you know, I've
about ice
got,
cream.
I've got
I
these
know.
donuts. I've got
I
these
know,
donuts,
donuts
on
and
my
ice cream
screen.
and
But anyways, let's see what's been going on. Well, on my Instagram, that's Style by Ty.
Style by Ty.
That's remember it's spelled T-A-I. Okay. On my IG page, I like to say that because I need to make sure because people don't know how to spell.
No,
Ty.
you're so right. Because
So,
everybody
that's
spells it
why
different.
I need to say it because people don't know. Some people just don't know how to. My name gets botched up all the time.
They
So does
probably
mine.
yeah
So-
spell it with an H.
You know,
like
an
T-H-A-I. Tie.
TIA. No, it's not TIA.
You're like,
so
that's
I just have
Tia.
to do.
Yeah, that's Tia.
Yeah, so like when I do my little videos on my IG page, I like to say, welcome. This is welcome to That Style by Ty. Remember to spell T-A-I.
You are the biggest dork ever. I can't even stand you. That's awesome.
I know. I'm such
That's
a
awesome.
cheese ball.
Oh
I
my
know.
That's fantastic.
But it kind of rhymes a little bit.
I
and
was
then-
eating that a few days ago.
Yeah.
Cheese
Yeah.
balls.
Oh, really? Okay.
I
And,
love it.
Yeah, so we have anyway, so yeah, I just like to make sure I spell it.
Okay.
So if people want to look me up, they might know how to spell that style by, but Ty, how do you spell Ty? So I just like to spell
It's
it.
tough out in these streets.
I
I
know,
know, it's
right?
tough.
I know.
The struggle is
So
real.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. So recently we celebrated on my I celebrated with my followers reaching 1,000 followers.
That's huge.
And that was awesome and amazing.
Yes.
I mean,
I don't even know if I have that many boyfriends. You may have
Oh,
maybe
my
not
gosh.
yet, but you're on your
Yes.
way, girl.
I'm
You're
on
on
my
your
way.
way. Yep,
I'm
you
on
sure
my
are. And we have So when I got to 500, I did a giveaway, and then when I got to 1,000, I wanted to do a giveaway. So I did a giveaway for Visa e-gift cards, and I tried to make it very simple because I don't want to make it too complicated because I don't even like complicated things.
Me
So
too.
all I asked you to do was to just follow the page, like the post that explained the giveaway, and to tag 3 of your favorite friends. That was it. No catch, no gimmicks or anything like that. Just that. And a lot of people participated, and that was awesome. Before I started the giveaway, I was at like about 1040 or something like that, 1040, 1050, and then after the giveaway, I'm over 1,200 followers now. So I gained even some new friends. Thank you so much for the love, everyone.
My drips are coming
So
faster.
it was
She's
fun.
dripping.
It was fun. So but it was fun to do the giveaway, and it's so sweet when people people are like, oh, thank you so much for the chance, for the opportunity. You're so kind. This could really help. And people are so sweet when they say those words, and it just touches my heart and it humbles me.
Aw,
Because I feel like, God blesses me, and I want to help, share the love and help share the blessings. And so I'm not like crazy rich, because I wish I could just give out like one to everyone and stuff.
Oh, you mean just like Chantel?
Yes, she's rich enough to do so. My character on Geezy and his frenemies.
I'm
Check
like,
it
what are you
out.
even talking about?
Check it out for Geezy and his frenemies on social media shows.
Yes.
Now she's a billionaire.
She's
so
a
she's got money
billionaire.
like that. I'm just trying to get there. I'm just trying to get there.
Perfume is my most favorite thing
Really?
in the world.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh my God, I can't even. I love perfume.
Awesome. I think I
Yes.
remember you mentioning that one time a while back. I
My
think you
most
said you
favorite
liked-
thing.
That's
I
nice.
love it.
Good
And
stuff.
I'm an oversprayer. Like, I'm not subtle
Not
about
one or two.
it.
You're like 4 or 5 or 6.
Yeah, well, like on a short day, my daughter and granddaughter are like, "Oh, you're going out. We smelled you."
Oh.
I'm like, "Yes, I am."
Oh my gosh,
I'm like,
too
yes,
cute.
I am.
Well,
It's
what
just my
type
favorite
too cute.
of scent do you go for? What is it that you like? Do you like the fruity or
No.
floral or woodsy?
I'm more floral.
Floral?
More floral or clean. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something that people know about me. So if you have been anywhere near me. Oh, I lost a piece of
Yes,
waffle
Evelyn.
cone.
We were looking all over for you in the dressing room.
I know, right? I lost a piece of waffle cone, but
Oh
if
my
people
God.
haven't seen me in a while, or if they're new to me or whatever, they're just like, "Oh my God, you smell so good," and I'm like, "Yes, I do." I'm like,
Nice.
That's my superpower. Like, it's my most favorite thing in the world. Between that and then just having on the jewelry that I like, I'm like, it really doesn't take much for me to be happy.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Perfume and my same old jewelry all the time.
Okay, nice. Such a girly girl. I remember saying you're a girly girl.
I am a girly girl.
Too.
This one of my boyfriends was like, "What does your bedroom look like?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?"
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, "What? Why are you asking?" And he's like, "You're just such a girl." And I'm like, "Well, there is a lot of pink."
Oh my God.
Blush pink, but
Yes, pretty color, pretty
no
color.
doubt.
I've been working
So what'd
on
you do,
pink.
JC?
But yeah, so that was.
Oh, I'm sorry.
me.
She's like,
Yep,
"I'm
that
not
was
done."
me.
She's
We're
like, "I'm
just-
not even done."
I drew the 10 winners and all that stuff, and we just,
Nice.
we've just been celebrating on my page, so it's cool.
She's like, "We celebrate over there." That's
Yes.
what we do.
I
We
like to show
celebrate.
my appreciation. I like to show my appreciation.
I think it's adorable. I love
so,
that shit.
Just I think when people see that you care,
Right.
then they care too, and then it's like, oh, and
And
so
then they
they're
care too.
they're my followers. It's like, oh, but I'm making friends along the way on my IG journey. It's so cool.
Nice, nice.
It's so cool.
Well,
So,
I
yeah.
love the fact that you're wearing polka dots, and that's a big trend right now for
you.
summer 2020.
Aren't they always a trend though?
Thank
Because
you.
how do polka dots
Now-
ever go out of style?
It's funny because it is a trend every summer, but then
Right.
they announce it and they parade it down the catwalk
I
and the
love
runway.
polka dots.
I would
They're
love
Yeah.
to walk the catwalk.
fire.
Yes.
Oh wait, I'm not tall enough.
Wow.
But
It takes all
You
kinds.
can walk down on Geezy's runway with the polka dot.
I know, right?
Oh my Lord.
I know, right? So thank you. This is an express top. Express.
Express.
I used to love
I
Express
love
when I
it.
was in high school.
Yes.
Yes.
Like that
you.
was my jam. Express.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
Yes.
some cute clothes there. They have some cute stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I bought some pieces and recently. I mean, for a while, I wasn't shopping at Express, but then I was like, you know, I need to go back to Express and check them out and bought some
I
pieces
love it.
and
I love
I
it.
used to like
them.
Esprit when I was little too. Esprit.
I love
and
Esprit.
Guess and
Is that the one
Benetton.
I
that's like
used to have-
ESPIRIT? Is that it?
ESPRIT. Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't have
Esprit.
any Benetton, but I
Yeah.
used to have like little Guess and Esprit
Mm-hmm.
overall short things that were like floral, and I fucking loved them.
Nice.
If they had that shit again,
Mm-hmm.
I would so do it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
I would
love
so
it.
do
They were
it.
very colorful. See, they were
Nice.
doing that whole LGBT thing back in the day already.
With
That's
the
that
floral.
rainbow thing is
Right.
already old. We've been doing that back in the 80s.
No doubt. No doubt.
Cool.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
awesome. So, JC,
Yes.
so we were doing a giveaway on my end this past week. What about you? What have you been
Well,
up to?
being on the topic of perfume a while ago and
Oh, okay.
scents, my
Uh-huh.
favorite scent is clean and a little bit of spicy and citrusy. I love that combination. It's potent. Yes,
I hear you.
I love that. Well, I've been tremendously blessed this week.
Oh, nice.
Really, really, really blessed, and I'm truly grateful
What happened?
and thankful. I was blessed materially this week.
Ooh.
And
You
so-
got your stimulus check?
No.
I haven't gotten a stimulus check.
Well, I just got stimulated. I'm just kidding.
Nice.
No.
Because when
I'm
we
just
get
kidding.
into my week, you'll find out the treachery.
The treachery of not
The
getting stimulated.
treachery.
So yeah, I feel blessed.
Well,
Very,
that's
very blessed.
Somebody had to be.
that's great.
But you are blessed, and she's blessed, and the woman behind the camera is blessed.
Oh,
Yes.
we're blessed.
Yes, we're blessed.
I just don't have all the blessings I was looking for.
And
That's
and,
all I'm saying. Like,
and
I
then I
give myself
did-
way too much ice cream.
Yes. And then I
much
did my
ice cream.
show, Fab Life.
Yes, and I heard you were talking about polka dots.
Polka
Am
dot
I right?
was a few weeks, but last night we mistakenly sent out the wrong pictures, and I was talking about cutouts. But then what happened was I'm like, okay, there. I think I need to get a pair of scissors. It's keyhole. Yeah, I know. Yeah, keyhole, but it goes with cutouts.
A keyhole. That's when it's right here, right?
Yes,
There's an
a
opening.
keyhole. Yeah.
I don't even know what
Okay,
you're
I
talking
have
about.
some cute.
And I was
I
thinking
don't have that.
there are no cutouts in that dress, so I need to cut out. Probably I need to go out on that runway and start cutting that dress. They sent the wrong image. Yes,
Oh, did
so,
they?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because I'm lost. I'm slow today.
Yes. So that's basically it. That's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, that's awesome. Cutouts are
Well, that's awesome.
cutouts are cute, and I have a couple.
like,
I
how
have
to speak
I
on
have a
that?
cute. I have like a few from Guess that are cute. It's like kind of like an almond eye or something. Like,
Yeah.
Like a cross here. But see, like
She's
I
like-
don't want it to be like too much, so I try to make sure like that you're not like it's not showing everything because you
Yeah.
just can't put it all out there. You know, got to be a lady about it. But you know, but just the right amount of it is adds a little,
Yeah.
extra pizzazz,
A little
Yeah.
extra,
Yes.
a little extra, sexy there,
Little something,
but
something.
without putting like all of your chest out.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, you don't put all your chest out. You can just do like just a little bit, like right there.
I can't even imagine if I would give myself the luxury of a little something like that. Then I'd really be fit to be tied out in these streets. I'd be
A
like,
little-
my nans are showing, and I'd fucking be more hellacious
So
than I
your
already
your
am.
cutout was going to be right here.
Is my cutout going to be?
Yeah, over
Okay.
here. So you're gonna show a lot of cleavage.
Am I?
Mhm.
Well,
There you go.
You know, cleavage as opposed to my ass. That's what I'm used to showing. But
Well,
Yes.
you know.
We can create something special for that.
we could create something special for that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you know, JC, on when you guys were talking about the cutouts, are cutouts also popular for men as well, or just
Oh, please, I
the
hope
ladies?
not.
Well, for the men, if you're like you have the body of Jean-Claude Van Damme, or you know those,
You can't do it.
you know, like a Greek god, then by all means go for it.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But more so for women's fashion.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of cutouts.
Praise the Lord.
Yes.
Women's
Yeah,
fashion.
I
A lot
think it's,
of,
I
yeah.
think it would be more. It's better for the ladies.
And a lot of 60s cut, you know, like a shift dress, but it's like cut out over here to show like the flesh.
a little
and-
bit of
on
side
both
action.
sides.
a
Show
little
my
bit
belly?
Of side.
Yes, on both sides. Yes.
I don't think we're ready for that. I don't think we're ready for that.
I don't really have any of like those kinds of pieces. I know what you're talking about, but I guess I'm more into like symmetry. I like symmetrical looks, and you're right. Like there's some that I think could be all like on one side or maybe even on both. Which
Yes.
if it's in the right spot, it could be it could be symmetrical.
Yes.
But I know I don't know. I just,
She's like, I'm not feeling it.
Well,
I haven't
me,
bought any pieces like that.
You know, being a designer, it's my job to create something flattering for all figure types. And it doesn't matter what shape you're in. I have to make you look good.
Okay.
You know what I want to do?
What?
Sorry, like I'm all.
Oh, go ahead.
I want. So this is gonna sound so retarded, but I swear to God, for like 15 years, I've had this shower curtain and duvet and pillowcases from Pottery Barn, the bed and bath part, and I never used them, like really. And so, like, I was looking at this the other day, and it's a floral print, and I want to make a dress out of it. Like, I'm not even fucking kidding.
How
I
big
want
was
to make
shower curtains?
a
or
shower
curtain?
curtain and a duvet.
Oh,
So-
wow.
What's the duvet?
The duvet is the cover for a
A chair. a couch.
Please don't say toilet.
Oh, bless
No,
my heart.
no.
For the
Because I'm like,
for
that's
the-
going back to like the 70s or
no.
something
No.
like that. I wasn't even alive. It was like people used to
Oh
put
my
those
God.
frilly things on top of
That's
no,
too
like,
weird.
No,
The
no,
toilet
no. My
that had the
fingers-
matching rug and they matched.
Oh,
My
for the
grandma
love
had
of
those
God.
things.
No, a duvet is the cover for a down blanket.
Oh,
The cover for
there-
a down blanket?
A down blanket. So, you know, you buy the white down blanket,
Okay.
and then you cover it with a duvet cover.
Really?
That's what a
Yeah,
duvet
that's what a duvet is. Sorry, gosh, I can't think.
Oh, okay.
Johnny
It's
says
a
that male
duvet,
cutout
yeah.
jeans. I'm hoping he doesn't like them, but he might. So I don't know. Johnny, clarify
Yes.
for me so I know if I'm afraid or not. But so yeah, I totally want to make like just a little summer dress out of it. And I started to like YouTube shit
comforter
to, you know, try to figure out how I might. And I have a couple ideas, but
Well,
anyway.
maybe JC could help.
I know. That's what
Yes,
I'm saying.
yes,
Like, you know,
absolutely.
we can make a dress, and then I'll debut it, of course.
Yeah, she'll debut
You'll model it
here.
on
It'll it'll be
social
simple.
media
And you want it
shows.
to be cut out over here and cut out in the back?
No,
I'm just-
not there
I'm just
yet.
kidding.
Okay, Johnny says he does not like men's cutout jeans. Thank you, Johnny. You
Oh my
can still be one of my
gosh.
boyfriends then.
Yeah,
There
Troy said
you
comforter
go.
cover, so yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Lovely, lovely.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm used to
couldn't
calling
think
it
of
a
my words.
comforter a comforter. But like
Well,
with
comforter
down
like is
stuff,
its own thing. Yeah. So with the down thing, you put a protective.
Oh, you can't just use the white thing you can't just put the white thing on the bed.
Well, you're not supposed to.
Oh,
Like,
that's
you're
not
supposed to
good
cover
down
it.
comforter.
Like it needs a cover. It needs a cover, guys.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
cover, and the cover is called a duvet. Yes.
Duvet. Okay, well,
Yes.
thank you.
I
That
love
sounds all
the French
fancy,
word.
schmancy.
It's
Right.
a duvet.
Bougie.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay,
Love
well, that's
it.
cool.
I love it.
Could you make a dress? Could you make it into a
I can
dress?
make a duvet.
She's like, I can make a duvet into a dress. Definitely.
Well, I
can
can
make
make
a
that dress for her.
What's
Definitely.
your most favorite piece that you created? that you've made?
I
Was it like a
made it-
wedding dress? Was it a tuxedo? What was it? Like, what was your favorite thing that
I
you
made a mini dress.
Uh-huh.
And the mini dress was like a combination of fuchsia and
Fuchsia?
like a mulberry color, and
Right.
then it was a mini short dress, and on top of it was like this giant butterfly blouse that
Really?
covered the whole dress, but the
Oh,
whole
wow.
butterfly thing was see-through, so that you could still see the mini dress inside.
Oh, really?
And-
oh,
and
wow.
then
That's so
I-
confusing.
And then I encrusted it, like the outside layer, the butterfly
Did
thing.
you just say encrusted it?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
I
I'm
encrusted
learning.
it
Encrusted
with giant fake diamonds here on top,
Oh, okay.
that complemented the, I mean, everything was fuchsia.
Oh,
everything.
pretty.
But
That's a
that
pretty color.
jewel thing complemented the fuchsia. So I loved it.
Nice. Oh, okay,
loved
cool.
it.
Are you like currently set up where you can make pieces now or not? Like,
If my, schedule allows me,
oh,
then
so
I
you have like your
definitely.
sewing
If my
machine and
schedule-
wherever
Yeah,
else you
but
would.
I prefer doing more made to order than ready to wear at the moment. Like, I can make you a dress, I can make you a dress, and all that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
We're
now,
all getting a dress out of that shower curtain.
You
Why
get a
not?
dress. I get a
look,
dress.
the three of us are gonna be dressed in that shower curtain. How about
Right.
that?
I know, right?
It's-
Like
that would be nice.
That's cool.
Nice,
That's cool.
nice. That's cool. That's cool.
Yes.
I did my when I did my drawing on my I decided to do an IG live for the very first time.
That's
I did
cool.
my first live stream, and that's how I pulled the names
Oh.
and all that fun stuff. And then one of my followers asked if I designed my fashions, and I was like, oh no,
That would have been cool, though.
I'm like, no, I don't design my fashions.
Right.
I was
How
like,
cute,
but
though.
I do like, I mean, I like to shop. I
Yes,
like to
yes.
shop,
Mhm.
and I like to find pieces that speak to me. But no, I don't design them. But then
Oh
it
my gosh,
reminded
I
me
had a
though that
situation.
like back when I was a teenager, I was in a
I
pageant.
have a whole.
Oh.
And there was an evening gown part of the pageant, and I did design my gown for that pageant.
Beautiful,
I
beautiful.
designed my gown for that pageant, and our neighbor was their business. She was a seamstress.
Wow.
And so
think
she
I'm done.
had like all kind of fabric, all that stuff. But anyway, so my mom and I had them make my dress. So I drew my dress on
Yes,
paper, and
wow.
it came to life, and I wore it.
And it came to life.
Yeah, and it was so
Wonderful,
cool.
Wonderful, yeah.
It was like a pretty teal, like a shimmered like teal material,
Right.
and then solid, like a solid print, and then I
Yes.
overlaid it with teal lace. I had
Wow.
I
wow.
have lace sleeves, a little lace right here, and then I had it like it was like a princess style dress, and I had it trimmed in black, and it was such a beautiful dress. I took fourth
Gorgeous.
place in the pageant.
Aw,
Oh
that's so
my
cute.
gosh.
I took fourth
Congratulations.
place. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
So that was the only thing I've ever designed. My mom might have an
That's
And it
sweet,
came
though.
out
somewhere.
exactly the way you wanted it to
Yes,
look
how I drew it
Yes.
on paper. She turned that into a beautiful gown. It was gorgeous.
like. Beautiful,
It was
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Nice.
So yeah, I think like Tabitha, like for you, like I think I was telling my followers when they'd asked me that question, I was like, and I told them about that dress that I did design.
Right.
Like I said, I think for little girls, a lot of us we liked to draw like and doodle little, outfits and stuff.
Right.
And kind of just design your own little things as a little girl. I mean, I liked to do that. Did you do that, or is that?
Did you? I did. Did you have that little Barbie thing where you could put in the little different, like there'd be a top piece and then like a bottom piece. There's these little plates, and you put them in, and then you put a piece of paper on. You close the top, and then you like do a crayon over it, and it shows you the imprint of the outfit you just made.
No.
Oh. Okay, so I did that.
Oh,
But-
really? Okay, so that's
Yeah.
kind of like making your own little designs for the Barbie doll.
Yeah, kind
Nice.
of. Yeah.
Okay, nice. I
Nice.
loved Barbies. I had a little
I
collection
know.
of
For
Barbies
God's sake,
and
I
stuff.
still love
And
Barbies.
bought all their little clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you guys have Barbies over in the Philippines?
Barbie, yeah.
Yeah, do they have Barbies there?
Barbie is a big thing over there. And,
Oh, okay, cool.
My
You guys
cousins,
like a lot of stuff over there.
Did you steal our stuff? How did your stuff even get there? Like, whatever. I don't even know how you got stuff, but clearly we probably gave it to you.
I love it. Well,
just curious. I don't know.
Manila or Metro Manila, I mean, is very, I shouldn't just say Americanized. I mean, it's very westernized where you get the best of both worlds.
Oh, okay.
So you get the best of Europe and America and some of Asia. So it's like a hodgepodge. You know, it's a mixture of all that. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So,
Manila
and,
sounds like my kind of city.
Yeah. So
she's like, I like the sound of that.
It's a mixture. It's a
I'm
hodgepodge.
a mixture of those things.
Of all those things, yeah. So you got Western Europe and blah blah blah, and even in terms of music, you know, we got the best of the best. You know, pop
Blah,
music
blah, blah.
from America, and then the latest disco music that was very popular in Europe that wasn't popular here in America. We got it over there. I mean, that's the funny part.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Cool. Oh, wow.
Like European bands that never made it here in America, they made it in the Philippines.
Well, if you're going to make it anywhere,
Yeah.
the Philippines is the place to do it.
Yeah, there you go.
My lips are on fire.
Yes,
Are
they
they?
are.
Maybe you're having a reaction of some
I know, right? I'm like, what is the problem? And I forgot. So my granddaughter bought me this lip gloss for my birthday.
Uh-huh.
And it's a plumping one. And like, I forget that it's plumping until it goes on my lips and starts plumping. And I'm like, this shit
It actually
fucking
does
is
something?
on fire. So I think what it does is it does something to stimulate there being extra blood flow to your lips. And so
Are you
like
kidding
that's
me right
no,
now?
I'm not even kidding you. So that's like supposed to make them more luscious somehow, and I'm like,
oh my God,
my
I'm
fucking
curious.
lips, put it
Let
on
me
your
see
lips. I'm
what
telling you, it's
plumbing?
on
You
fire.
put on some chemicals that make your
plumping?
lips do stuff?
Yes.
Plumping lip
yes.
gloss.
I don't know if I would
Oh my
trust
gosh,
that.
they're like on fire. My lips are plumping right now, guys. So
It's
you know,
Alicia
plumping.
Keys, her lips
They-
are on
Yes,
my lips are on
yes,
fire. They're
yes.
plumping. I'm plumping right now.
You're plumping.
I'm plumping.
Okay.
Apparently, I'm plumping.
Hashtag plumping.
Hashtag plumping. You know, I love my hashtag.
I know.
Oh, my
I know,
goodness.
girl. I know it. I
I'd
know.
like to experience that too.
We'll play with
A
it later.
plumping lips.
Right, plumping lips, Lord. And I have such thin lips. I wish I had more fuller lips. So, shit, hopefully by the end of the night.
And I want
You
to
could
reduce
go-
mine.
You
Oh, my
can go
goodness.
get those injections like some women do. They inject their lips to make them big.
I think, though, that people would be like, Tab, how all of a sudden do you fucking have lips? Like, you know, that would be noted. Because mine are so thin that I think that would, I don't know, be noticeable.
But I don't like those fake lips. The fake lips make, like, the women look like ducks. You know,
And
like,
the women look like ducks and
Right.
the
Which may or may not be
transvestites look
attractive,
like-
depending on which breed.
when
I don't know.
I mean, it's just pumping the lips full of stuff is just. I mean, like, or at least when maybe I've just seen women that have put too much in their lips, but those fillers. But I don't know. But from what I see, it's not a good look.
Well, I don't know. When I
That-
become a
that-
porn star, I might look into it. You know, we're gonna need to do a little
Okay.
bit of
And then you're going to
reconstructive
have to
work
practice doing this.
anyway. Right, because I don't even. Right.
Do you
Well,
want to look like you're puckering even when you're not puckering?
I don't know. I can't decide. I want to just look like I have lips. Like
Oh
that's
my
like
God.
I'm really, you know, not too hard
You
to
do
please.
have lips.
Well, they're not juicy though.
But you got them.
Well, thanks God. Thanks for giving them to me.
So
But they're
speaking
just not
about
juicy.
lips, some lady preacher on Facebook posted this thing on Facebook and saying, "Stop puckering your lips." Oh, I guess that's the
Stop
11th.
puckering.
That's the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not,
Not pucker thy lips.
Thy lips. Yeah.
Well, sometimes they need to be puckered though, Daddy.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, but they definitely should have looked puckered and they're not. Like that just looks weird. Looks like someone put like animal lips on a human and be like, you know, like it just doesn't.
Right.
It's just
Went a
not a
little
good
But you
look.
know, it was the Queen Kardashian that,
Did they make
started
that popular?
Yeah, they were the ones.
I think they made puckering of everything popular. Puckering of everything.
The fillers, right? The fillers, the
Right.
injections. Yeah.
I
Kim K.
I
If
need a
she
bigger
does it,
butt,
I'm
too.
not going to do it. I'm not following the
She needs a bigger
Kardashians.
butt.
They're not
I
a
need a
trendsetter
bigger
for me.
butt, for
Oh
sure.
my lord! Oh my
sure.
lord!
What?
I need a bigger butt.
What? No,
I
Tabitha,
want
You
a
you're
black
fine.
girl bottom, and I don't have
You're
anything
fine.
close to a black girl bottom, but I want a black girl bottom.
Oh,
You're like,
good
well,
lord.
that's gonna look out of place, Whitey. I know. I know.
No, if God wanted you to have a bigger butt,
He would have given it to me. Well,
Oh my gosh!
I don't know.
I mean, like,
And
not
if you-
everyone has a big butt, no matter where you're from or
Right.
what you look like. So, you
Okay,
know.
so I got big booties on my mind, but whatever.
It's like I'm trying to analyze the situation. What do we have here?
You're right. What do we have here? Man,
I
so
suppose. But we are our own worst critic, they say.
right,
We see
right.
ourselves in a different
Oh
light.
my gosh!
In a different light.
You
Well,
Yes.
in all the light. We see ourselves in all the lights. That's
We
where we
do.
see ourselves, in all the light.
I guess, well, they say on camera, you know, it adds 10 pounds, so your lips look fuller,
And
and you
then
have
my
a
lips
bigger
look fuller
bottom
on,
just because we're on camera.
Can you imagine what they'd look like if we weren't then? For sure.
10, don't they say the camera adds 10 pounds or something? 5 extra pounds, something like that. There's a saying.
It
Can't
does
remember.
something. It has
the camera
to.
adds some amount of pounds, but anyways. Okay,
The-
cool beans, cool beans.
Yes.
Well, how about we give a quick shout out to those of our friends who
Yes.
have tuned in for our first
Hello,
segment?
Hello.
Do we have some friends? I know we had a
Yes,
few
yes.
who
We
had
have
started.
friends?
Yes.
I'm not sure if I really have friends. I've been losing friends lately.
Oh no.
I've been getting blocked like you would not
Oh,
believe
God.
lately.
Blocked?
And not even
Why?
for stuff I've done.
You mean
Oh.
your friends or followers, or by the social media like Facebook or Instagram?
No, by people that follow me.
Uh-huh.
They get a little bit ballsy and they show up in my inbox and they start talking.
Oh.
And then I'll respond.
Oh,
And
they
then-
block you.
They don't like it when you
Well, and it's
respond.
not even that they haven't liked what I've said necessarily. It's like they've gotten embarrassed for what they said.
Mm.
And so by the time I go back to see what they said again, I'm like, this person is fucking unavailable.
Oh, they were too embarrassed. yeah.
Right. Yes.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
it's just kind of interesting to me. But I'll go first here.
It's
Okay.
like a hit and run.
It is like a hit and run. I'm like, what the fuck? Don't come at me with conversation
I
you
know.
can't back up, okay? Don't come at me with conversation that's going to embarrass you and your wife.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm not
That's
going to
funny.
tell her, but, you know.
Yes.
She's like, Lord. I want to say hey to Kevin, to Gabriel, Charles, Coleman, Juke, Mike, Wendy, Kenneth, Francis, Dr. Robert Brown, Isaac, Tarek.
Oh, there was a guy on
I
90
can't see. I
Fiancé
need my
named
glasses.
Tarek.
Patrick, Ryan, Brandon. I love Brandon. Michael, a different one. Jay, Johnny. Johnny is my new boyfriend, and he already made me mad.
Why?
Oh, and you're gonna say it on,
What
and
happened?
he's on.
Alan, Chauncey, Marcelo, Glenn, Justin, Johnny, Avery, James, Darby. I want him to be my boyfriend, but he's afraid of me.
That's a very nice name.
Another Johnny, Will, Maisha, she's totally gorgeous.
I have a
Micah,
friend
she's
named
even
Aisha.
more gorgeous. Nate, Jameson, Daniel, Jason, Gerald. Those are my buddies right now.
Oh,
nice,
awesome.
nice.
Cool, cool. Thank
I'd
you for
like to
sharing.
say hello to J to the D.
J to the D?
How are you,
Is that
JD?
JD? Oh, okay.
And Val. Hi, Val. Hi, Tita Pen. Hello, Bernardo Padilla, Lagniton Jr.
You guys are all animated.
I
I'm so
know.
blah today. It's been a rough week.
Hi,
Aw,
Sherry Lee Robinson and Chris Wilson. And that's all that I could see.
That's all that I can see.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. I have, I'll share highs from our main page. Dolly Wright. Dolly Wright
Hi,
said
Dolly.
hi. And Dejana, I hope I'm
Hi.
pronouncing that right. Hi, Dejana. Let's see, Troy. Hi, Troy.
Hello.
And let's see. I think that's it from, yes, that's it from our main page for now. So thank you so much for
Yes.
tuning in, everyone. We know you could be anywhere else, and the fact that you're hanging out with us means so
I love
much.
to be hanging out with.
So
yes.
thank you. We love
Thank
hanging
you
out with
so
you,
much.
and we're thankful that you knew that you like to hang out with us too.
She's so cute. She's like just so correct. She's just like so on it. Okay.
Thank you.
Is it my
So-
turn?
Yes, go ahead.
She's like, I was hoping we were going to skip over that.
Oh, no. So you said you were having a rough week. So how about you tell us about your week, and then we'll go ahead into our first commercial break.
Yes.
What happened, girl? You said it was rough.
So what had happened was, no, I'm teasing. Well, not totally teasing. Okay.
Okay.
So I had a couple things coming from a couple different directions.
Okay.
First, I had my main daddy, my Dom, tell me that he thinks it's totally tantalizing when I don't have sex with other people.
Oh.
So I kept my business to myself because there comes rewards with those kinds of good behavior.
Oh, really?
She's like, what? So no, there comes rewards with those
Okay.
kinds of behaviors. So we had some really great phone sex and whatnot. Like
Oh,
this
my.
man does things so perfectly, like I can't even explain it. So like I look forward to these encounters, even though I know she's cringing. She's like, did she say phone sex? She said phone sex.
No, I'm
She
trying to
said
see
phone
if this
sex.
is this the one that. Sorry, just
No.
back up to last week. There was a
Oh.
new guy that you were hoping was going to come into town that weekend.
Oh no, he did. I'll get there.
Okay.
So
Sorry, not trying to jump the
I know.
gun.
I'm just prefacing with
okay.
why Tabitha hasn't had sex this week.
Okay.
And why she's a little bit uptight.
Oh, okay.
So he already put me on notice that if I kept my woo-wahs to myself, then there would be fabulous gifts and prizes.
Okay.
So of course I was all game for that. And then on top of that, my Yum Yum was coming in to town to visit family, and hopefully he was going to have time to see me. So out of respect and wanting to earn fabulous gifts and prizes from Daddy, I was keeping my business to myself. So
Okay.
my Yum Yum comes into town. And he's tired. He's driven 6 hours from California or whatnot. And then, so instead of like what we were going to do on Friday night, I ended up just sneaking over there to his hotel room for a couple minutes and meeting in person. So that was cool.
Okay, cool.
So here's the thing that I don't always like about boys.
Okay.
I love that they love me, but I hate that they're afraid of me.
Oh.
So, Ty, you just have no idea. Ty has no idea. So, Ty's like, well, what would they be afraid of? Well, Ty's not on my Facebook. Ty doesn't know. So, Ty's like, I'm a little bit too much of a lady for this conversation. Yes, that's true. You are, for sure. But, so anyway, so it's always so cute to me to meet people and then, like, but some of them are shy, and it's cute, but it's also kind of like, I'm going to need you to grow some balls, and I'm going to need you to just fucking go for it. But anyway, so this guy is, like, totally respectable.
Oh, nice.
He's not a comedian. I know, right? I'm totally intrigued by him. He's not a comedian. He's not an actor. He's not one of my typical boys. He's just a regular guy. And his dad is a preacher, and he goes to church every Sunday. I would look cute at church. I've been to
Yes,
church.
you would.
I used to go all the time.
Yes.
Clearly, I'm out of practice. But so on Saturday, he was spending the day with his family, and then we were supposed to see each other later, and then we were supposed to actually go to church on Sunday. And none of that happened, and I was so bummed because the stuff with his family didn't end. And which, you know, he was there for that. He wasn't here to see me, per se. He was there for that, and then I was just going to, you know, be icing on the cake. But I don't know. So I was bummed. So then I'm like, not that I was saving myself for him, because we had already, well, he had established that we weren't going to do anything while he was here.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, it was respectable. And wants to get to know me first. All right, I can appreciate that.
Yeah, two
I
thumbs up
know,
for
right?
this
Two
guy.
thumbs
I
up.
like him.
He's got a lot of thumbs up. He's got a lot of thumbs up, and he's like totally adorable, and he has such a cute face, and da 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 da. Oh, I can't say that part though. Okay, that would be too much. But she's like, oh, there would be something that's too much for real. So, but I'm sitting there like, so I've already saved myself because Daddy said that it would be fruitful. And then I literally didn't do anything because of out of respect for meeting this new guy. I didn't want to, you know, be like totally dicked down this week. And so then like, oh, right, dicked down. But then like the streak just like continued and like we're on Tuesday and like I'm suffering. So I don't know if I can see 6-1 today. Clark can't see me. I was hoping he'd take me to dinner. That's not going to happen till Thursday. And I'm just like kind of like out of sorts. And then to top it off, today is the day that my brother was killed when I was younger.
no.
So like my mood is like, that's why I'm eating ice cream.
So sorry to hear
Because my
that.
mood is funky.
I'm
So
sorry.
I was, thank you. I was 19 and he was 2 months away from turning 14. And he was crossing a street that it should have been safe to do, and it was safe how he was doing it and whatnot. But a car came screeching down and wasn't paying attention and literally went on the wrong side of the road and killed him. So he was dead before he hit the ground, unfortunately. Like it was that quick. But so this like time of year between my birthday a couple weeks ago, which is actually a traumatic day for me, and then this, like June is not my month. You would think that June would be a cutie pie month for me, and it's just not. So like I am like fit to be tied. Like so I'm just like all over the place. Clearly suffering because I'm eating ice cream, I'm drinking soda, I'm plumping my lips, you know. So I don't know. So today I'm like, don't cry, you're gonna be fine, right?
Yeah.
So so the one thing that irritated me over the weekend with my Yum Yum was that when his plans weren't going to be able to accommodate us seeing each other on Saturday night, he didn't get with me and tell me that he was okay, but things, you know, weren't going to progress for our evening because of what he was doing with his family. So that was frustrating because with me being sick, I have to like plan what I'm going to do and plan everything I do around my day to be able to accommodate what I want to do. So knowing that I was going to be supposedly doing something on Saturday night and Sunday morning, that means I have to conduct my day in a certain way for Saturday to be able to accommodate that. And then, you know, getting ready takes time. Like, this does not happen overnight.
Like you're
For fuck's sake. This is a 2-hour process from beginning to walking out the door. And so it was just frustrating that I was ready to go for whatever, you know, whenever he became available, blah, blah, blah. I had, you know, scheduled my whatever around this. And then this happened with somebody else, like, I don't know, a month or more ago, that we were supposed to have plans. And he didn't follow through with communicating with me well. And I'm just like, I'm past the point where I can really just not mention it, you know, because for one, it's rude. And for another, it's inconsiderate. And for another, I am too sick to be just fucking around with people that, you know, aren't gonna just respect my time when really all it takes is a text to say, hey, this is what's going on. This is where I'm at now, and I apologize. We'll need to do something another time. That's all the fuck it would have taken.
Yeah, that just takes a few seconds. Just a few seconds.
Right. And this guy is such a gentleman that it surprised me that, well, I mean, there was kind of some extenuating circumstances. He became incapacitated, but still. Like, you know that you're getting to that point. You know that your turn up isn't turning down. You know what I'm saying? So I was discouraged by that. So between that and then like with my brother being killed, I was the only person that wasn't at home when it happened. Like my family was there. So it happened right outside our home. So they all, I don't know, they were just there and I wasn't there. So when people are away from me and I don't know if they're okay, I get extra upset. You know, so I get worried. So not that he would have any idea. He has no clue about anything like that. Nobody would, you know, unless you know me. So just me being sick, him not just giving me a courtesy text, and then me being wondering about his safety, knowing that they were drinking and stuff, and, you know, that you're in a different town and whatnot. So it was like a lot of things, and I just it just put a sour taste in my mouth. But not anything that's not recoverable. All it needs is, you know, some education about the situation. But
Are you
so
going
I'm
to
a
give him
little
that
uptight.
conversation?
I did talk to him about it, and he seemed a little bit like, so are you forgiving me or not? And I was kind of like, I needed a little bit more conversation than that because of those two things. And we haven't had that yet, but there's, that it's not like there's not time for it, but we did discuss it and we're fine. So, but I'm like testy today. So I need a boyfriend and I need, I don't know, it's just a tough day.
Yeah.
Can I buy a boyfriend?
What?
Oh my
Can
gosh.
she buy one?
Can
No.
you buy a boyfriend?
I don't know.
All
if
I
they're
have
for
to do is
rent.
start texting people, but I'm like, and then I'd really like to see 6'1" tonight because I haven't seen him in a couple weeks.
But you're gonna not get the stuff from the other guy if you do.
If I go see 6'1"? Oh,
Yeah,
from
my
my dom?
Yum. The first guy that said if you keep yourself to
If
yourself.
I keep myself to myself, well, here's the
keep
other
your stuff
thing.
to yourself.
I've told him every day that I have kept myself to myself. I'm like, Daddy, I kept my pussy in my pants. You know? He's like, I love that. And I'm like, but I can only keep it there for so long because I don't think that, well, I sometimes I wonder if I should speak, but I'll get to see him on like either Thursday morning or Friday morning before he goes to work. But that's just to do yummy stuff to him. And hopefully he'll tape it because I need content. So I need content. So hopefully he'll tape it. But but that's not like the whole shebang. That's just like you're going in, you're doing a job, you're, whatever. So I don't know. So I'll have that, but that's not like the whole shebang. So then to be able to do that and then have to wait about another week to physically see him, I'm like, that's like, we're talking 2 weeks. Like, because I'm a week in.
Well,
and
you could never do a long distance relationship.
Oh my gosh,
You're definitely
yeah.
not long
I'm
distance.
definitely not long
She's
distance.
not gonna last.
I don't know. It's like
If you're struggling for a few days, then
I do
it's
struggle
like-
with a few days.
Girl.
So
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
Oh
I
my
guess, girl, I guess.
OMG.
But
So just know that I'm struggling.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
struggling.
Sorry
and
that your emotions are.
They are. They're all over the
Yes.
place. And
I'm
then,
sorry.
like my poor daughter, when I was getting ready to leave, because I just like cleaned today. I got home early in the morning, and then I slept a couple hours. I slept for 4 hours. Like, that was huge.
Oh,
and
wow.
then, I know, like,
That's
4.
good, yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
I've got 4 hours of sleep. And then I got up and, like, was folding laundry and hanging and ironing and whatever. Oh, and my Yum Yum irons. Oh, my God. I
wow.
love a man who knows how to iron.
Oh, wow.
So I
Overrated.
no, I love
Oh my
it.
gosh.
So he knows how to iron. He irons his t-shirts like I was in heaven.
Really?
Yes.
I can't stand ironing. So.
Oh, well, I mean, like, it's kind of tedious, especially when I'm ironing my dresses or whatever. That's kind of tedious. But I love a man that, like, is put together and ironed like that.
Well, yeah, now
melts
neat
my
and
heart.
neat and tidy press. Yeah, I mean that's a great look on a man.
Like,
That is a great
I
look on a
loved it.
man.
And especially when they iron their t-shirts and their shorts and stuff, because not everybody knows that that's like a good thing. They just, throw something on and walk out the door. So I ended up spending the night there on Friday night. Well, because I had smoked and he knew that I needed some sleep. And so, like, I went and slept on the bed, and, like, he didn't even get in there with me.
Oh.
But for one, I was laying across it sideways to start off. But I'm just not accustomed to that. I'm, like, more accustomed to being joined. And so in the morning, and then he had to, like, totally wake me up because I was, like, gone. But I needed that so bad. But anyway, the fact that he was respectful, he slept on the sofa, I slept in this yummy bed, and I don't know. Like, that was just like too much respect for one weekend.
Oh my gosh.
But I liked it.
That's a great
I like
thing.
him a
That's
lot.
good
I know.
thing.
She's
And
like,
some
"Go for
self-discipline and restraint can be a good thing.
You're so right.
And
Self-discipline
then
and
you
restraint.
could just
Ugh.
it could just mean even more whenever it happens and stuff. Just
Now,
like-
I'm very curious. 6'1" is the guy that I saw with a red shirt? No, that's not.
No.
Okay.
No, that's
He's not the-
Steven.
Oh, we're naming names.
Well, because he
She
doesn't
give him a
have
makeup
Facebook,
name.
so
Okay.
he's named because he doesn't. There's no way for people to associate with him.
Okay.
But
he that hath no real name.
He that
hath no real name, that shall remain nameless.
Shall remain nameless. No doubt. Well, I love my hashtags, though. I love my hashtags. Sometimes, I don't know, it's kind of cute that people are like, did I earn a hashtag? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, not everybody gets a hashtag. Come on now. Not everybody can have a hashtag.
A few months ago there was Dumpster Diver, and now he's gone.
Dumpster guy. Like, so he's just out of town. But oh my God, he's done a couple lives lately, and I'm just like looking at his face, going, "Oh, sweet Jesus!" Like, when are you coming back to Vegas? Like, I can't even stand this. But yeah, Dumpster guy is nice. Dumpster guy is nice, but I would never
sitcom.
Yeah, Tabitha says
the Men in Tab's Life. That's what it's gonna be called.
No, it needs to be called Tabitha's Sexcapades.
There you go, Sexcapades.
Yes,
well, okay, so I haven't had one for a week, so I need one. That's all I'm saying. So
all
anyway.
right, we'll check in with you next week. We'll see how you're doing.
We better be in a better position. I better be like, this happened and this happened and this happened and this happened. Who knows? We'll have to see.
It's okay, but sorry for your loss. I can only imagine.
I appreciate that.
Sorry to hear that about your brother. Okay, well, how about, I think this would be a good time for us to go ahead and take a break.
Yes.
So that we can get ready for our topic to dive in. Our topic today, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about white privilege and white guilt. So get your thoughts going if they haven't already, and we definitely encourage your questions and your comments and things like that. So please, reach out to us. We're checking our screens and stuff, and so let's get ready to dive on into it. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you ready to hear about the most amazing competition coming your way? It's the Gifts of Talent virtual competition where you can dance, sing, act, do comedy, all in the comfort of your own home. And a portion of the proceeds goes to feeding the youth. You have a chance to win some amazing prizes. Have fun!
To enter, go to whalerscreation.us, or, for more details, go to socialmediashows.com and hishopnation.com. Or follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to get updates, and to vote for your favorite talent.
Let's do it. I determine how good this day is going to be. I determine by the hope in my heart that I feel. I determine how good this day is going to be by the belief in the words that I speak and the knowing in my mindset that everything is working out. I determine that. You determine that. Together, we determine how good and how great this day is going to be. Let's go. Come on.
Social Media Shows Network were initiated in 2017. Since then, our founder Maria Pereza never stopped developing a system on social media, in building a network of passionate people that loves to entertain, coach, help others, and deliver informative information to the public, informally, in a low-cost production. She built a platform that surpassed Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other social media live streaming, but exceeded the function of a podcast. Her main goal is to be able to broadcast on social media like a traditional TV setup involving a group of broadcasters, YouTubers, podcasters, and social media live streamers. Maria is building the confidence of non-actors and non-famous people that joins her to network. We are here to promote and support one another, to help our community grow collectively without inhibitions but with confidence and high self-esteem. We love to be in this family together. Our door is open to help you build your brand, opening opportunities for others, and outreach to our community. We welcome you to the family of social media shows.
Let's do it. I determine how good this day is going to be.
Are you ready to hear about the most amazing competition coming your way? It's the Gifts of Talent virtual competition where you can dance, sing, act, do comedy, all in the comfort of your own home. And a portion of the proceeds goes to feeding the youth. You have a chance to win some amazing prizes. Have fun!
To enter, go to whalerscreation.us, or, for more details, go to socialmediashows.com and hishopnation.com. Or follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to get updates, and to vote for your favorite.
Are you ready to hear about the most amazing competition coming your way? It's the Gifts of Talent virtual competition where you can dance, sing, act, do comedy, all in the comfort of your own home. And a portion of the proceeds goes to feeding the youth. You have a chance to win some amazing prizes. Have fun!
To enter, go to Whalers.
A fairy tale they say.
Hi, welcome back everyone to today's edition of Honeybees. My name is Ty and I'm joined by the lovely
Tabitha.
And I'm the lovely Hornet, JC.
And we are so excited and happy and grateful that you decided to spend part of your day with us today. And please help spread the word. We come on every Tuesday, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
You got it right the first time. I was waiting.
I always had to just make sure I'm saying the right
gosh.
time zone.
Right.
Here on social media shows. So, tune in, spread the word. We would greatly appreciate it. And we're thankful for each and every one of you. So thank you,
Yes.
thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Most definitely.
We thank all of our daddies.
Yeah.
She's like, stop talking! I can't help it. I can't.
No, it's cool. So we hope you had a chance to get your thoughts together. We shared what our topic was going to be today. So with everything going on right now, we thought it'd be cool and interesting to talk about white privilege and white guilt. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into it. And remember, if you have any questions or comments or whatever, please feel free to engage with us. We like hearing from you.
We love to be engaged with.
Yes.
We like hearing from you, and your thoughts and opinions matter too. So,
Yes, I just want
So
to
it's
give
not
a
just
shout
all
out
about me.
Yes, shout out to you.
Right.
Shout out to Kathy Dunn. Hi, Kathy.
Oh
And
yeah, does anyone have any new shout outs you want to
Wilson
say hi
again.
real quick?
Angie. I've got Angie, my best
Yeah.
buddy.
Cool.
I don't know how she tolerates me. Like, we've been friends for like 22 years.
That's
maybe
really
like
awesome. Yeah.
20, but
Yeah.
I don't know how she does it. Shout out to Angie and
Yes,
her
there you go.
endurance and
Aw,
whatnot.
that's so sweet.
She's
True
such a good
friend,
woman.
and they say opposite friends.
It's okay.
Sometimes opposite friendships work out, opposite friendships. So maybe that might be how. Maybe there's
Right, you're like, maybe
opposites
that's how.
there,
That's
right?
how she
So
does it.
could be.
No doubt.
JC, who are you giving a shout out to again?
Kathy Dunn.
Okay, Kathy Dunn. Okay, cool.
Yes,
cool.
Kathy Dunn.
There's a lady who signed in on the main page, Catalina. So we want to say hi to Catalina as well. Thank you for tuning in.
Do I need to practice a wave?
The
Maybe I
queen
should
wave.
Practice a wave. Like I feel like there's a way to do it. I'll research that.
There's the queen wave.
Try removing a light bulb.
Or there's
like
just
a
this
light bulb,
one,
yeah.
regular wave.
Like a regular
wave. You know.
Well, I just feel like everybody has a wave but me. Maybe
I just
need
feel
a
like
wave.
a 3-year-old. That's
Right.
it.
For sure.
The little waving emoji. Do you guys use that sometimes when you text a little hand that goes like that? Do you use that emoji?
I don't know how to use really emojis. Like unless it pops up for me, like I don't know where to find them, how to get them.
I love emojis.
I love emojis
I'm just not that cool.
I like him on my IG page. I like to text them. I like emojis.
Just don't send them on corporate messages.
Don't send them on. Got to be a little correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
PC, JC, we already talked about being PC.
Yes, exactly.
I suppose. I don't know, but maybe the corporations want to see how you really feel.
They want to see how you really feel. And an emoji's going to tell them.
Yeah, it's like,
you can put that angry face and be like,
it's
that
like-
red angry face.
It's like the store was pretty dead today, and you put an emoji at the end of that.
Right.
You're like, when are you going to open back, store? Like, mad face.
Stupid.
Like, I need my shoes.
Oh,
right.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. First world problems. Well, we've already had an episode on that. Have you seen First World Problems? If not, check it out. That was a fun episode.
You know what?
Remember when we did First World Problems?
Yeah. Remember, like, there was the thing that I needed to wash my makeup brushes. And I had bought it from Home Goods, and I couldn't fucking find it. I finally found it, and I got all my makeup brushes washed. I was so happy. I'm like,
There you go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's
my
good.
heart melts. It's so easy to make me happy.
Oh, yes. It's the little things. It's the
Yeah,
little
happiness in the little things.
And especially now,
Yes.
quarantine life and everything going on.
And the riots and
just
everything.
to be able to go
yeah.
to the restaurant and eat, like you're saying, I just want to be able to sit at a
It's still not
table
open enough for my liking because, like, after this, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Whereas usually, well, I mean, I kind of know a little, but not enough. Like, usually I would have my plans. My Tuesdays are usually stacked to the brim into Wednesday morning. And I don't know. Like, I'm getting enough of a taste of the outside now that I'm like, it almost hurts me because I'm like, I just need a little bit more. A little bit more.
A little bit more. Got it.
A little bit more.
Got it. I'm thankful that the door has cracked open and there's something.
I'm thankful that you're here.
Oh, thank you.
Like, you totally made my day with getting to see you in
Yes,
person.
I know.
Thank
Mine
you.
too.
Thank you.
My
I've missed
gosh.
everyone. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Love to everyone. Love.
I thought that you were never going to come back, and I turned your character into a shape-shifting lizard, but now I have to rethink it.
Oh, you're like, he's like, well,
lizard on
I'll give it a
Geezy in
little
his
bit more
front of
time.
me.
We'll see where it goes, right?
How dare you turn me into an ugly thing?
No, you're an intelligent alien species.
You're an intelligent alien species. When do I get to be an intelligent alien species? Actually, I don't want to be.
Oh, that
no.
can be
You can play mine. You can play mine. I don't want to be an alien. I don't want to be an alien.
I don't want to be an alien. My lips are still on fire.
Oh, there
like,
you go.
They're
Her
still, they
lips-
better look hot by
her
the
lips.
time the show is done because they're
I
on
don't know,
fire.
girl. They look the same to me, but
See, that's disappointing. Like,
I don't know. Sorry, but I mean the color's pretty though, and they shimmer.
I wonder. Oh, thank you. She's like, they shimmer. I wonder. You know what? Like, I wonder what. Like, if I were to kiss a boy right now, I wonder
if they would get the tingly
if they'd
sensation
be like,
that you're.
what the fuck is that? Like, I can't even. You know, the other day I was at Dive Bar, and I had pulled out my lip gloss and I was putting it on, and this guy was like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Lip gloss," and he's looking and he's like, "Is that why your lips are always luscious and wet looking?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and he's like, "I didn't know."
Oh.
And I'm like, What would you have presumed it was? Like,
God didn't have me born
what?
with these lips like
my
this.
gosh.
Like, what would make a
Oh, my
woman's
goodness.
lips, luscious and sparkly and glossy and
We're
other
not born
than
with those kind of lips. We have to put it on.
yeah, we have to color them. We have to, juice them up a little. But it was so cute. I'm like, you're just not familiar with lip gloss. Like you've dated
Where have
a
you
girl
been?
before, right? Like
This is the 21st century.
I
I mean,
wasn't paying attention.
I don't know when it first came on the scene,
Yeah.
but it's been around for
It's
a
been
while.
around for a while.
forever.
I
It's
mean,
been around
like,
for a while.
Since the 70s.
Since the
Yeah.
he's all.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna date it back to the 70s.
Yeah.
So for as
Well,
long
that's
as
before
I've
my
been
time.
alive.
Yeah.
So.
It's
I
been
mean,
a
and
thing.
thank God for the lip gloss. I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not really
I
into
love-
like makeup stuff, but the lip gloss is.
I know,
Like I gotta have my lip gloss. I
lip
love
gloss
it. It's
is
just like
life.
on my IG live, I was like. That one of my followers was like, "What about? Do you have like any beauty secret tips and stuff or whatever?" And I went ahead and I talked with them a little bit about makeup, and I was like, "Oh, actually,
how fun!"
I was like, "Well, I don't know much, but I was like, I can show you my lip gloss." And
Let's
I went out.
talk lip-
I got up and
that
grabbed
made me
it because
so
it was
happy.
a little ways out the way, and then I grabbed
Right.
it and I was like, "Ta-da!"
Oh
and,
my gosh.
they don't make it anymore. It's from Bath and Body Works, so I have to like scour
Use it.
eBay and stuff trying to find it because Bath and Body Works stopped making the best lip gloss out there.
Really?
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
called
even-
Liplicious. It's such a lovely brand.
I wonder if I have any of those.
They're
I'm
like
gonna
these
have
little
to-
tube things. I could show you, but it's
Right.
I have written to Bath and Body Works at least 2 times or so to try to say, can you please bring it back, like make it?
Right.
And they're like, oh, well,
Right.
thank you for the comment. We'll share that, but
You're
nothing
like, you
has-
lie.
Nothing's
You're not
been
sharing
done.
it.
But then the stuff they have for the lips now is like it's that mentholy, like you feel like
Oh,
a
yeah,
tingly.
yeah,
and all
yeah, yeah. That
I don't want that.
You
I
don't
want
want
to
that?
shine. I don't want tingles.
You don't want to.
you would hate this. You would.
I
hate
don't want
this.
tingles. I want shine.
I think that's what I'm gonna look because I swear I have something. It might be the menthol thing. But
Yeah,
I know have
I don't like
something.
mentholy stuff. So they need to go back to that because it's it's really cute, and they had like a whole bunch of different flavors and all this stuff.
Flavors.
Yeah, there's lots of
So
flavors
we could
of
lick
them.
our lips.
Ooh.
Yeah, they call it
Oh, my goodness.
Liplicious. Liplicious.
Liplicious.
That's fire, dude.
But you can only find it on eBay. Now, don't go on eBay.
I
and
know,
start
you're
buying
like,
them
don't
all
go
up,
buying
'cause
them
then it
all
won't be any
up.
for me. But I'm just.
You know what I want to come back, and this upsets me a lot that we don't have them anymore.
What?
Jell-O pudding pops.
Oh my
Like
goodness.
it's not a
pudding
fudgesicle, it's the Jell-O pudding pops. They used to have the vanilla, the chocolate, and the swirl. And those are like my most favorite thing ever. And literally, I'm like, why? Why can't we just be happy and have Jell-O pudding pops?
You should
Like,
write
why?
them.
I did years ago, and they
It's
gave
time
me
for a
some
new letter.
Yeah, it is.
They gave you some generic thing that they tell
Yeah.
everybody else, just like Bath and Body Works did to me. Yep.
Yeah.
I
What
felt
did
like
they say they shut down permanently.
I don't. They didn't give me. They
they
said
still
that,
make Jell-O, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so
and
the
pudding
company
and
still-
stuff. So I don't
Yeah.
know why we can't just throw them pudding pops back on there, but
They
and
sound
do you
good, but-
remember Bill Cosby used to be the
Jell-O guy.
pudding guy. Well, yeah. Look, I'd even take Bill back if I could get the pops.
There you
The-
go.
the-
Bill's locked up
I
I think that I heard that he might have a chance to get out
because of the virus, right, or something
I
like
don't
that.
even know. Like, I literally just vaguely think that there may
Yeah,
have
he
been
was in the
something.
news
I don't
like
pay
last
attention.
week or something like that.
Yeah.
But I
Who
didn't
knows?
read the
Bill,
article.
Come
but-
on, let's just Jell-O is where it's
Yeah.
at.
Okay, you
Yes.
should write Jell-O and tell
I'm
them to bring
gonna.
it.
Yeah.
Start a
I'm
petition.
gonna.
I should
Yeah,
start a petition for my
activism.
lip
We're all
gloss.
about activism right
Start a
now.
petition.
I know,
So-
right? That's what everyone does now. I need 5,000 signatures to show,
Right, for
to
whatever
show
it
that
is.
something is
Right. Look, I'll get signatures. Trust
well, like
me.
my sister got me my first Liplicious lip gloss, but I just kept it like in a drawer or whatever for like 1 or 2 years,
Right.
and then by the
for
time
1 or 2 years.
yeah, for real.
She's like, I had it for 7 years, and then I pulled it out, and they don't even sell it
and then
anymore.
when I finally started wearing it, I was like, let me give it a whirl. I was like, oh, I love this. And then when I was starting to get low, that's when I found out they didn't make it anymore. I thought they were still selling it, but I didn't know they stopped since she had given me my first tube.
Right.
So yeah, it's just like now you have to pay like lots of money on eBay for them. but I pay it because I love it so
She's
much.
like, look, I'm gonna give it to
I
you,
pay
but I'm
it
gonna
because I
stomp
love
my
it so
feet
much.
the
You know,
whole
it's
time.
probably only like $7 in the store, but you know, when you're paying 20 or 30 or 40 or something dollars or whatever, you know,
right?
because I can't get it anywhere else, so I have paid it.
Oh my
But
goodness.
you know, it is what it is. But anyways, yes. Okay, cool beans. All right, so today
Alrighty.
our topic.
Okay,
So with
cool.
a lot is going on in the world right now. In our country, well, I think in the world, in our country, like there's the pandemic, but then here in our country, there's also a lot of civil unrest and protesting and things like that. So we thought it would be good to discuss the topic of white privilege and also white guilt, which is, you know, maybe tuckered in there or maybe related or something like that. I wanted to give a definition I found for white privilege. I found it on dictionary.com, and they define white privilege as meaning they say this: white privilege is the unearned, mostly unacknowledged social advantage white people have over other racial groups simply because they are white. That's the definition that I have, and the little bit of background that I was able to find on it I found out where the term, I guess, came from, or at least where it was popularized. The term white privilege was popularized by Peggy McIntosh, who was an influential scholar and activist. In 1988, McIntosh wrote a paper called White Privilege and Male Privilege, a personal account of coming to see correspondences through work in women's studies, in which she likened white privilege to quote, an invisible, weightless knapsack of special provisions, assurances, tools, maps, guides, code books, passports, visas, clothes, compass, emergency gear, and blank checks, end quote. And in this article, this is on dictionary.com, they said that her paper outlined 46 different examples of white privilege, and they listed a few. They said one, I guess is when it says I guess she's talking about herself. Just I can, if I wish, arrange to be in the company of people of my race most of the time. Another one said, I can avoid spending time with people whom I was trained to mistrust and who have learned to mistrust my kind of, or me. Another one says, if I should need to move, I can be pretty sure of renting or purchasing housing in an area which I can afford and in which I want to live.
Right.
Another one says, I can be reasonably sure that my neighbors in such a location will be neutral or pleasant to me. Yep. And the last one that they mentioned here, you know, they just picked a few. She said, I can go shopping alone most of the time, fairly well assured that I will not be followed or harassed by store detectives. And then it said a year later, she wrote another essay called White Privilege, Unpacking the Invisible Knapsack, and which was, and she shared even, you know, more about, you know, she went into more depth about those things. And then, and in the years since this her publication, you know, the term white privilege has come to be used kind of to explain power structures inherent in American society that disproportionately benefit white people while putting people of color at a disadvantage. And they go on to say interest in the term white privilege notably spiked in 2020 right now during protests against violence inflicted on black people involving police. the protests helped create a global conversation on racism and discrimination, specifically understanding and acknowledging white privilege as discussed as one important step in being anti-racist. Yes. Okay. So that's kind of a little bit of kind of the background information that I found for the term white privilege. I think it's important to try to define it, or find a definition, or come up with one. So we can kind of lay the groundwork for it in case any of us need that information. So that's kind of some background info on it. So what do you guys think? Did you agree with the definition of white privilege? At least according to dictionary.com, that white privilege is the unearned, mostly unacknowledged social advantage white people have over other racial groups simply because they're white.
For sure. For sure. The before I forget to ask, can you forward me the articles that you found from that lady? I mean, you don't have to do it right now, but
okay. Well, this was dictionary.com summary of it, but I can email you what I have.
From that lady.
I can email you what I just read.
Cool.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. So, because I just want to read those, and I don't want.
They don't have the full thing, but I'm sure it gives you information. I'm sure you can find it.
I can find it. Very cool. I forgot what I was going to say, but yeah, to all of that. One of the interesting things to me about white privilege is that we don't even realize that we have it most of the time. And I'm not being facetious and I'm not being funny. White people don't. It's a hard thing for us to even understand, even though we're living it. Because we are so privileged in that respect that we can't fathom that other people aren't treated the very same.
Right.
That doesn't make sense to me that, someone else may not be treated the same that I am. So I have to say, honestly, it's been only a couple years that I've even understood it well enough to understand that I have it. So it's not like something that comes up in conversation. It's not, white people don't just sit there and talk about, their privilege or their whatever. It's just everyday life for us. And so it's, even though, I was talking to one of my boyfriends and he was like, but Tabitha, you see the news, you see that there are things going on in the world that are horrendous. You see how people are treated. But when you're so far removed from that kind of a lifestyle or that kind of a situation, it's hard to understand that it's more than just that one instance that you're seeing on television. It's more than, people live in a fear that I literally don't live in, And so, honestly, it's only been a couple years that I've even understood that white privilege existed and what it meant and how I have it. So as much as you guys don't understand, it's just hard to understand each other at times. I don't really know what else, to say about that. I know that there are disadvantages, but I don't have the disadvantage of walking out of the house, she was giving indication of. I can leave the house and do anything I darn well please. I run around town alone all the time, and I never worry. Granted, I'm way too trusting, so this is a character flaw for myself as well, but I don't worry that I'm going to be harmed. I don't worry for my safety. I mean, I kind of do, I'm walking around Fremont Street, or I'm walking, you look out for bad guys in the corner. Yeah. But I'm not looking or expecting that just anything is going to go wrong. I'm really expecting that my night is going to be perfect. Whether it is or not, that's the expectation that I leave the house with, and I'm treated accordingly. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to discuss today because we're all kind of coming from different places on it. I think, and whatnot. But
well, thank you for sharing that. And remember, audience, if you have comments or questions that you would like to share, please do so. We are checking. So yeah.
Yes, we are checking.
Okay. Yes. JC, like, have you ever heard of the term white privilege? And if so, like, what do you think it means? Or what did you think it means?
Yeah, not only heard of it, but I've actually experienced it firsthand.
Having privilege?
No, not having privilege,
The
but
lack
being
of it?
the lack of it. Yeah, being pinned under the wheel.
Right.
Because surprisingly, I mean, the United States isn't the only place where, or Canada perhaps, where this thing, is prevalent, but also where I come from, the Philippines. Since we have that colonial mentality, and nothing against the Spaniards, but they were the ones that colonized us.
Okay.
And the privileged class over there were the, European, like Caucasian, like, white people back in the day. And I remember, this is a story. The boy looked more Pacific Islander compared to his cousins. His cousins looked more European looking, lighter skin.
Okay.
And so he wanted to wear the same things that his cousins were wearing, which was flip-flops.
Okay.
I love flip-flops.
Yes, and
I
because
live in
it's
them.
hot and humid.
Right.
And then the auntie looks at the Pacific Islander looking kid and says, "Why are you wearing flip-flops?" And then he's like, "Well, my cousins are all, wearing flip-flops."
Right.
And the aunt said, "Yes, but they're white and you're not."
Over flip-flops.
Over flip-flops.
So
Yeah,
what's-
because basically what she meant by that is that he looked like one of the natives.
Right.
Like the
But
the
why would
darker
it be a
skin.
concern with flip-flops, though? Like,
Because that would probably elevate his status a little bit in society. There's also a class distinction coming with
Okay.
a white privilege back home in the Philippines. And of
so
course,
you're not to act or present yourself in a manner at which you aren't.
And in
perceived.
her
Right,
mind, yeah,
right.
in
I
her
gotcha.
mind, because not everybody shares the way she thinks. I mean, the way
Right.
she thinks is like very old Spanish colonial time.
But still valid.
Was she was the mother of the boys?
The auntie of the
The
boys.
auntie of all the boys.
All the boys, yeah. She was the auntie.
What does she look like? Does she look more like Islander-ish, or does she look more Spanish?
She looked more European, like, yeah, Spanish. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. She
So
looked
for
more,
her, I guess it was like,
like
well, you can't look like us, or you can't be
yeah,
like us.
yes, yeah.
By
you can't
sharing
look
the
you
same-
can't
same
look
standards.
relaxed. You have to be more dressed than the rest of us
Okay.
because
Oh.
yeah.
Interesting.
Hmm.
So you're saying even in the Philippines there's been these issues as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, you'll notice it if you go to the grocery stores. The white bleaching soap is everywhere.
Wait,
And it's
what
like-
is
and-
that?
What is
So that your
white
skin-
bleaching soap?
Yeah, so that when your skin will become lighter, you'll look like the privileged class.
But that's a real thing?
It is a real
Soap?
thing.
And it
Can
works?
change the color of your skin?
The funny thing, it just makes you lighter, but that makes you actually look funny, because it's like
I
your
have never heard of such a
ethnicity, was not designed for that. You know,
so
and
you
I'm
mean
thinking
like, they
why
could
don't
look
you just
like you, but just with her complexion?
yeah, like lighter.
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yeah,
I wonder if that's what Michael Jackson used.
maybe.
I've heard of people
and
skin
once
bleaching,
again- and
but
once
not,
I've
not
never
with
heard
soap.
of skin bleaching.
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
Never.
Heard of,
And
I've
once
heard
again,
of
the story of this boy.
Uh-huh.
Another aunt, approached him. Oh, here's a bleaching soap, so that you could look like most of your cousins and
Really?
relatives.
Oh,
That is so
wow.
interesting to me.
Yeah. So
These are real stories. This
these
is
are
real.
these are real stories. And as a matter of fact, I had a classmate, and just because he was like a darker looking Filipino, I remember my classmates how they jeered him, criticized him on a daily
Really?
basis, and I felt so bad
Wow.
for this guy. And the only mistake that he had was to be dark, and they
Right.
used his name as a cuss word towards him.
Really?
Like they,
Oh my god.
yeah. So
See, that stuff just doesn't even make sense to me.
yeah, it does. Yeah, like blatant in your face, and then over there too. You know, if you're lighter skinned European, you're treated with more respect and more dignity.
So I'd fare well over there.
Yes. And if you're darker, you're kind of shoved to one side.
Really?
And case in point, one time I went to have my pictures developed, and the guy didn't want to help me out because he thought that I was just some bum. You know, I was just wearing t-shirt and shorts. I was vacationing, in the Philippines. So I went there, and I was familiar with that Kodak machine because that's the machine that we use here in the
Right.
U.S. and over here it's all self-service. Apparently in the Philippines, it's not a self-service thing.
Oh, okay, to print out your pics. Okay.
And then the guy came back really angry at me and said, like, why are you using that machine? He's like, I want to have my pictures developed. And then he looked at me, he said, it's 2 pesos, and 2 pesos is what, like a dime?
Okay.
I'm like, oh yeah, and I want to have a lot of pictures developed. And then when I put my photographs in, and he saw that I was with a bunch of Caucasians here in America, and he saw that I was wearing a suit and everything in a more corporate setting, he started calling me sir.
Oh,
wow.
From
Wow.
that, putting me down, all of a sudden it changed.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
He thought you were rich or something like
Yeah,
that. This
so
guy has
yeah,
some money.
and
got
he
some clout.
he comes from America, and he's with white people and all that, and then he changed. And
We're
so,
not all we're cracked up to be.
well.
You're like, trust me, we understand that. Trust me.
So those are
Wow.
a few of my stories.
Yeah.
There's more where it's coming from.
Right.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for sharing that. So
Mhm.
I guess
It's an eye opener. It's not just happening here. It's everywhere.
which is
Mhm.
good. And I think when we've talked before, I can't remember what our topic was, but I was like, I think I said it. It's not just an American thing.
Mhm.
Like people. Well, where people who are darker complected may be treated differently, or
Right.
whatever. I mean, it's just, I think wherever there's people of color, that's just where it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be. It's like that. It's like that and different. Basically all over the world. I mean, where's the only place where there's only like just straight Caucasian people? Is that like certain parts of Europe or something?
Yeah.
I would have no idea.
I mean, like Europe may have maybe the I don't know, but then a lot of people have a lot of people from different parts of the world live in Europe now too and stuff. So I don't really know if
Mhm.
there's a place where it's just mostly like.
Oh,
just
and
straight
one
Caucasian
last
people.
thing about the
But-
bleaching soap in the Philippines. Remember Peter Jennings back in ABC? They were so alarmed about what was happening in the Philippines about the Filipinos not liking their dark skin and buying the bleaching soap that Peter Jennings from ABC made a report about that. Made a whole
Really?
episode
Wow.
about that.
Wow.
And they were, the Americans here were alarmed, like what's happening in the
Yeah,
Philippines?
we
Like
didn't even-
why? Yeah, why don't they like their, skin complexion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just a part of, I don't know if it's human nature or what, but it's just like somewhere in the brain, I think there's something that says like, okay, well, the darker you are, then I don't know if it's the less of a person you are, or, you're a questionable character, or you're not, worthy or equal to the same love or whatever as someone who's very pale. But I mean, I hear it happens across the board. South America, like Africa, like over there in Asia. I mean, I've just heard it.
Yeah,
I've heard it.
like
It's
in-
not just a U.S. thing. But at
Mhm.
first, I thought it was just a U.S. thing. But it's not. It's not.
It's not.
It's just Latinos hate on each other.
Oh yeah, they do.
They hate on each other too, based off of the complexion of their
color, yeah.
skin,
Yep.
and stuff. Islanders do it. Like, I mean, it's just kind of, I don't know where it is in there. I don't know why that is, but it is what it is, I guess.
You know?
But Yeah, there was a quote that they had on that same article, and this was their quote about white privilege. It said, white privilege has become a common phrase in Americans' conversations about race, and that's unsettling many white Americans because they think it undervalues their struggles or questions the legitimacy of their successes. What do you guys think about that? Do you kind of get what it's saying? What that this lady, somebody, Erica Pandy, that's what they said.
I do get what it's saying. And then this is where it comes in, where it's hard for us to understand, because we're looking at having some of the same difficulties that everybody else would have. But she's saying that, it downplays, what am I trying to say? I may have to. But
if you kind of put a question mark about how hard maybe a Caucasian person worked to get to their level of success.
Right. But see, here's what white people don't seem to understand. And here's what even jarred us to have this topic, is that we're so quick to say, but I grew up poor. I grew up a little bit on the streets. We didn't have what we needed. I got passed up for a job. I blah, 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 blah. That may all very well be true, but it's not the same as somebody just purely off of their color of their skin having difficulties that far outweigh anything we'd ever come across, quite frankly. Because of my skin color, I know I'm going to be treated well. And it's not something like I grew to know that I was going to be treated well. I never had a concern. I don't have a fear. I don't have a this. When you have color to your skin, the world literally just treats you differently. And because we didn't grow up like that, we don't understand it. But nobody's going to look at me and give me a struggle. Nobody's going to look at me and question whether they should employ me. Nobody's going to look at me and question whether or not, I'm going to rip off their store. I'm probably the easiest person to rip off their store, and they wouldn't look at me in that light or something. You know what I mean? Like, it's presumed that what I'm doing is correct or acceptable or whatnot. And I forget what you were saying. Like, I apologize that I'm scatterbrained, but
no, it's okay. There's many aspects to this to this topic. I guess this is probably a Caucasian person, and she was, someone is saying, I don't know what she is, but someone's saying that it can be unsettling for Caucasian people because they think that it can basically put a question mark about the legitimacy of their successes, because there's with white privilege. So if someone is like, yeah, I believe white privilege, and you got to be a supervisor because you're Caucasian, you stepped on a lot of colored people's toes to get there. And that's because that was only because you're Caucasian. Even if the colored people were just as qualified, if not more qualified, you got there just because you're Caucasian.
And I guarantee you that happens.
So I think that's the point that this person making.
I think they're trying to say we've worked for what we have. And if you worked for what you wanted, you could have it too, is what I think she's trying to say. So I'll give you an example of how I know that that's not the case, though. But we do. As white people, we believe that. We think that. I don't want to say that it's necessarily ingrained in us, but as we're growing up, we're told you can be whatever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. Just do it. So our frame of thinking is that everybody should be able to just simply do what they want to do, how they want to do it, and that's not the case. There was, within the last couple months, I went to Dallas with one of my boyfriends that lives there. And when we were driving down there, we went through, I don't know, for God's sake, probably Utah. But we went through some places. Forgive me for being so retarded, but we drove through some places. The gentleman that I was with, and if you know me well, you know that I absolutely love black men. That's who attracts my eye. That's where I look. Not that I don't like all people, but that's what catches my eye. So I'm with this black man, and he has an interesting look. I just be around people that I like their personality, so like their looks I don't so much worry about. But his look was unique in the respect that he's a black man with strong features. He's tall, he's built, he's got wild hair, and kind of a little bit of a wild personality. So we are driving through predominantly white areas. Like, it was so obvious that it was predominantly white. And like, we were going through initially the drive-through at McDonald's. And we're just grabbing a snack. And when the person that's going to take his money saw that he was colored, they started to treat him differently. Like, they tossed his change to him.
Oh, wow.
And I caught it out of the corner of my eye, but I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And he was like, when the gentleman turned around and saw that I was of color, then the attitude changed. And, you know, the change didn't quite make it to my hand. And I was like, that's infuriating. But we pull around to the gas station that's next door. We're going to go to the bathroom. We're going to sit down and eat our hamburger or whatever we had. And so we go to do that. And we walk into the convenience store, and the eyes were shifting and stuff.
Wow.
And I am like,
wow.
I grew up in Colorado Springs. I grew up in Colorado, and I did not grow up around a lot of black people, but I was always intrigued by them. Like, there weren't many in our class or anything like that. Like, I just didn't have it. So when I moved to Vegas, this was culture shock for me. So it's been a while since I've been back home, but back home didn't even do this. But this Utah situation was creepy.
Wow.
And so I was just taking note because it was so obvious that there was a problem. And so we use the bathroom or whatnot. He pays for whatever he needs to in there. We sit down at this table outside the convenience store, and people were like pulling up to go in, get gas, do whatever. And we were the topic. So I felt like they were looking at me to see if I felt like I was safe, and they were looking at him trying to decide if they were going to make eye contact or not. And we sat there and talked about it for a little bit, and I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? I'm just like, how can there possibly be any spot in the United States that fucking acts like this? It was scary. So here's where white privilege comes in. Like, when we were further down the road, and we were at like a Subway that's in with like a convenience store, because we're traveling and whatnot, and I wanted a sandwich, and so he's getting me a sandwich, and when I go into Subway, I get a BLT with extra bacon, so like I double the bacon. I'm pretty serious about my bacon. Like, I love bacon. So if the person isn't giving me the right amount of bacon, I will say something. I have been known to call your manager over bacon. I've been known to call the district manager over bacon. Trust me.
Wow.
So, like, Subway and this bacon is like, we go way back. So anyway, I'm watching this woman not double my bacon, but tear the pieces in half and call it double. And so I'm like, this is about to be a situation. But only because I was with him and had seen how he had been treated earlier, I didn't say shit. Like, I didn't say anything. Typically, I would have been like, hey, so the normal amount of bacon would be 4 whole slices on each 6-inch. And then so double bacon, ma'am, would be 8 slices on each 6. Like I would, I'd be like, we need to like square up the bacon, or we're gonna have a problem.
Right.
But I caught myself, and I'm like, I'm not even gonna bring it up because he would have been uncomfortable, and it would have put him in a position. I had already done that earlier at Popeyes, not understanding what I was doing until after we got further into the trip. So I didn't say anything, and then I'm just like, God, are we being charged for double bacon? Like, I didn't want to be charged for it, even though I didn't get it, but I just didn't say anything. We paid, and we left. But that was, like, the first time where I've ever been like, I can't open my mouth, and it's not for the safety of me, but it's for the safety of the gentleman that I'm with, and I didn't want him to be uncomfortable. Like, we had gone to Popeyes. This was the most eating out I've ever done because, like, I don't eat out like this. I don't eat fast food and stuff. But we were at Popeyes, and I didn't want French fries. I wanted mashed potatoes. And you can't go in at this point. You know, everything's locked down. You're going just through the drive-thru. And we get the food, and mine was fries and not mashed potatoes. So I was like, we'll pull around. I just want to get this straightened out. So I go to get it straightened out, and I'm knocking on a door that, you know, is locked or whatever, and they come, and they think I'm weird, and I'm like, hey, we just went through the drive-thru, but, you know, I need this and this. And then they're like, well, how do we know you just went through the drive-thru? And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? How do you know I just went through the drive-thru? God damn it, I just went through the fucking drive-thru. I ordered this, and you gave me this, and I'd like it to be corrected. So I'm not backing down. I'm not like, okay, fuck it. I'm like, no, I'll stand here and wait. Literally, I'll stand here and wait. I'll give you a moment to make it okay and come back to me. He was getting like fidgety and stuff. He wasn't standing out there with me, but he was parked in the car. And he was like, no, just come on. And I'm like, no, it'll be fine. I'll be done in a minute. And I didn't understand why he was discouraging me from getting the mashed potatoes until we started to experience those other things. And then I'm like, oh my God, he must have been just fit to be tied that I'm worried about fucking mashed potatoes. But literally, I'm like, no, we're going to correct it because that's what we do. And then we're going to press on. So that whole trip was so enlightening. I was like, wow. Like I saw firsthand some bullshit that I'm just not accustomed to. And I was like, holy hell. So it really just drove home the whole thing, and that it is so prevalent in some places. And I would still, even understanding it now, am so lucky that I can't relate to it, you know? So yeah, it was kind of a miserable thing.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you for sharing your personal firsthand account. That's wonderful.
She's like, that's
wonderful.
Wonderful. I know. It's
what do you
like,
want me to say?
It's like the topic is so somber that, you know, you're like, well, we're gonna try to remain upbeat and everything, but
like, I mean, I think with like white privilege and like the topic of like race or something, like I don't know if white privilege necessarily equates. Does that equal racism, or is racism kind of like its own thing? White privilege is like its own thing.
I would think that they're their own thing.
So like what I would, you know, it seems like what you guys may have experienced was racism because you guys were an interracial, couple or, you know, friends or something.
Right.
It seemed like that people were kind of treating you guys not maybe as well as you are accustomed to or something. So like maybe that's like racism.
Right. But the privilege comes in that
you're not used to that, because like if you have an issue with like your order,
right,
people are like looking at you extra weird or wondering, did you really drive through the drive-through just now?
Well, that part was just stupid. That you know, really, but the whole idea that I can bring something to somebody's attention when it's wrong and expect it's going to get corrected without a hassle. Now that one gave me a little bit of a hassle because I'm like banging on their doors or whatever. But you know, like I can just go through life expecting things to be corrected. I can expect that they're going to be right. I can expect that I'm going to be treated well. And if I'm not, I can freely bring that to somebody's attention and not expect a big problem. I'm going to expect that I'm going to be appeased. I'm going to be given a gift certificate for my next visit. You know what I mean? Like I can freely manage my life without having to worry about what I'm doing. I can just do it.
Well, I mean, I myself as an interracial person, you know, being a blend of y'all, both of y'all, and then, you know, Dolores from over here, Dolores too. I'm a mix of all three.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, but I could say I expect the same thing. I could say, well, if someone messes up my order, I expect that they're going to fix it. I could say, if you give me crappy service, I have every right to complain that to the manager that employee or whatever just gave me crappy service. Like, I mean, for me, if it is a situation like that, right? Like I'm also like you. I am one to speak up. So I will, if I need to say something about, you know, crappy service, or they messed up my order or something, like I'm usually the one that will say something. But on the same token, though, with myself having, you know, worked in jobs with the general public and stuff, I know that a lot of people, it's easier to complain than it is to give a compliment. And so what I do try to do is, when I see someone giving me superb customer service, going over and beyond, I try to make it a point to give a compliment, because so much managers are so used to getting dogged out because the stuff is so much negative. So I like to put the positive in there too when I feel it's necessary, you know, whether it's an in-person encounter, if it's over the phone encounter. Hi, you know, you get great customer service. Can I speak to so-and-so? But if I do feel I'm wronged in a certain way, I expect that I will be able to talk to a manager and voice my concerns and this and that. And I think that's probably, I don't know if that really matters about the color of our skin. I mean, I think.
But it does. It does. And this is why we're even having this topic, because last week, or was it last week? And I don't even remember what we were discussing. But
PC.
Okay.
Was it PC?
Yes.
And you
PC,
had said
PC.
that all lives mattered, and that shocked me that you had said that. Because that, dare I say, is kind of a white people thing. And with you having some color to your skin, I was surprised to hear you say that. Not because it was wrong for you to think, but because of its connotation. So definitely all lives matter. But when we have the lives of a specific, you know, group of people, that their lives are really just not mattering to the degree that they should to everybody, it's not negating that all lives matter to say that right now Black lives matter. So, and I'm losing my train of thought for this, and I apologize, but so it's not discounting that all lives do matter, but what it is bringing attention to that if our fellow friends and family can't get the same respect that everybody deserves, then their lives have to kind of matter a little bit more right now, because there's some corrections to society that need to be made. So when you present yourself and you are in public, and this may sound strange, but to me, and I don't know, maybe I'm crazy for saying this, you present yourself as white to me. You don't present yourself, and not like completely white or something, but in more of a white way than some people do. And I think that's where you end up being okay with the situations that you're in, that you can speak to somebody. You're going to be well-spoken, you're going to be whatever. But there are literally, it's not that way for everybody. And it's disproportionately not that way for people of color. So regardless of the fact that our lives matter, the fact that we live in a white fashion, we conduct ourselves in a white way, and we do those things, we're free to live however we want. And until they can live freely however they want, that's where it has to be the movement that Black Lives Matter. And that's why that's there. So when you said that and had that thought, I was grateful that you didn't. At the time, I presumed that because you said that, you didn't live in a fashion where you had as many fears as other people do or have. And so I was grateful for that. But I was also kind of like, but we're missing the point that just because you and I have that privilege and we can do those things, other people can't. And that's where the change and the shift in our ideas need to come. So it's fantastic that I've got this white privilege, but what can be done, and I don't have an answer for this, and I wish I did, and I'll have to start figuring it out, what can be done that everybody can be comfortable. Because when I was with my Dallas guy, and it was just so blatantly in my face, I was really discouraged with society. And then when I go on, every now and again, I'll go on for just a couple minutes, because I really don't follow it, something that we're talking, like the White House is having a conference. And I'll go in and I'll look at the comments, and white people are fucking shitty. And I didn't know that white people were still so shitty, and we are. And they're just not getting it. That it's fantastic that you and I can live how we want, but until everybody can live how they want, then we have to concentrate on those that aren't able to. So, I don't know. That's kind of my thought. I'm
okay.
like losing my train here, but
No. It's cool. It's cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I think, if there's a differentiation and the term, Black Lives Matter is said or is uttered, that's a life with they're humans like everyone else.
Right.
So in a way, could it be saying all life matters, or is that we're all human? So if someone says Black Lives Matter, what about everyone else?
Right.
And saying that, does it kind of, is that also part of all lives matter? Basically saying that life matters, that our lives matter. Yeah. And with separating out a certain group, or if someone wants to say, Mexican lives matter, and Japanese lives matter, and Filipino lives matter, and stuff. I think at the root of it all, they're saying that lives matter. But I think that because we're all human, it's saying that humanity's lives matter. Like, human lives matter.
Right. But you're...
So...
Go ahead.
So I understand that our country is not perfect. I do understand that. And that there are things that needs to be done and should be done. But we're Americans. We're all Americans. We're all Americans. And I believe in God's eyes, we're all created equal. We're all created equal. So someone who's African American, they don't mean more than you just because they're African American and you're not. Like, if you put a number on their life, then your life means just as much.
Right.
Now, experiences may be different. Experiences may be different for that person than yours, perhaps. Or maybe there's similarities there too. Being born in struggling situations and stuff, that's not color specific to your skin complexion. Like, there's people with all shades of skin who are born into situations and circumstances that are, we would say are hard, challenging, the downtrodden among us. And it's probably like that in the Philippines too. There's not everyone who's struggling probably looks like the same.
Right.
And trying to maybe find that, and looking at the fact that we're all human, and then trying to kind of take it there, like go there to that base level, and then trying to build up from there, and recognizing that we're all important, and that no one is more important than anyone else. And if there are situations of injustice, right? If there's situations of injustice and racism and stuff like that, tackle those issues, most definitely. Because again, we're all human, and we all should be treated, everything should be fair. I mean, everything should be fair. We all should be treated equal. I mean, Dr. Martin Luther King, says that we should be treated, it's about the content of our characters. It's not about the color of our skin.
Right.
And, it would be nice if we had him now, if we had one of him now, like I was saying a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
But we don't. But let us not lose the message. And so basically, I think we still live in the greatest country on earth. I think that America is the greatest country. I think that with some of the things going on now, it's like, maybe people are saying otherwise or think otherwise, that we live in some, poop hole in the world. I believe we still are the greatest country. And that if you're an American, I mean, like, people come to our country here because I believe, and I've heard that they look at our country as the land of opportunity.
Yes.
Like, this is where dreams can happen. Like, dreams can come true here in America, where people who may not have a chance wherever they're from in their different parts of the world want to come and have a chance to live the quote American dream. We still live, in my opinion, in the greatest country. Now, do we have issues that need to be worked out? Yes, we do. And is our past perfect and spotless? No, it is not. There's been messed up stuff that has happened along the way to get us to where we are today. But does it mean like we need to rip apart our country and we need to rip it apart? No, we need to come together
and tear down all the historical monuments.
Do we yeah, like we need to come together and not be like like this and say like, and be like, oh well, we're just going to tear the country down. Like, how is tearing the country down? Like, that's like, what is that going to do? If there's already some negative stuff going on, how is adding more negative going to help produce positive?
Right.
Like, more negative, in my opinion, and I'm just more of a positive-minded person. Like, I don't know, but I just am like, when it comes to the things of, like they're saying, like, white privilege is a hot topic right now with everything that is going on, right? They're saying it's a hot topic, and people are talking about it, and we should talk about the fact that everyone, like, we're all brothers and sisters, and how can we help make this country a better, how can we improve on it? How can we try to work on coming together instead of doing more of this?
Yes.
More of this. And there's a gentleman, a YouTuber, I stumbled across his video. His name is Officer Tatum. Tatum, Tatum, Officer Tatum. And he has a video that's called, he's an ex-police officer, from what I understand. But he has a video, and it's called White Privilege is Made Up. White Privilege is Made Up. You can find it on YouTube. And it's a very interesting video. He argues that white privilege is a made up thing. That it's completely made, that it's made up by those on the far left. And he lays out his arguments as to why he thinks that white privilege is made up, and that he argues that Caucasian people, they're like programmed, like I think you were mentioning, like as kids, thinking that like, oh, you have it better, your life's going to be easier because you're Caucasian, like you're not going, your life is going to be better and you're somehow better than because you're not going to have to struggle like other people are going to have to struggle. But he argues that that poverty, he says poverty, I think I can almost quote it. I think it's said poverty doesn't care about the color of your skin. Poverty doesn't care. And he's sharing about why like he's African American. He's African American, and he gave an example of like when he was a kid, and in his home his dad was also in the home, but he knew like he had good friends who were Caucasian. Their father wasn't in the home, and they were like really struggling. Like his mom would give those two brothers, like him and his brothers, hand-me-down clothes and stuff because there's holes in their shoes, holes in their clothes. Like they didn't have anything, that they could, decent stuff that they could even put on. And so he kind of lays out this framework where, I mean, like you don't really hear it. Like I hadn't heard that before. I hadn't heard that stuff before, but it's an interesting video. He argues some interesting points. And if you ever have a chance, check it out and kind of see what you think. Like he was saying how with like, for instance, like some of the rich, like super rich, like African Americans, like, he mentioned, like, I think like LeBron James and Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry and like people, he basically was saying like their kids may have more, those kids are more privileged than probably your kids or anybody else's Caucasian kids. Almost like if one of those celebrities like walked into a restaurant, they'd probably be like, they would tell, he says that they would probably tell the Caucasian people, hey, y'all got to roll. Oprah's coming, basically. Oprah needs a seat, kind of thing and stuff. And so it's different because it's a different point of view, because most of the time you hear like, well, we hear of white privilege and everyone probably assumes that it's kind of true, but maybe there's a question mark around that. And he wondered, for instance, like earlier, I think you were saying, you can kind of do kind of whatever and say whatever and kind of not really have to think much of it because you're Caucasian. Well, he said that he said, well, when he was on the police force, and he made a video about, I can't remember what it was. Oh, maybe Colin Kaepernick and the kneeling controversy. It's with NFL. Well, his colleagues that were Caucasian and stuff, like, they all agreed with his viewpoint. But they couldn't, none of them dare publicly say that they agreed with his viewpoint, because if Caucasian people, if they say certain things, they can be deemed racist. So true. So is there white privilege? Is that white privilege if a Caucasian person can't say the same thing as someone of color? Like, is that really privilege, or is that more like being bound? Because if you say some certain things, people can try to shut your business down. People can want to get you fired. People can want to go after you and your family by deeming you racist for feeling a certain, for expressing certain views. Maybe there is a question mark about the full picture, or maybe certain aspects of what white privilege really is. now he argued that if you're like African American, you can say, he said you can say whatever you want and it's not really going to affect them, but let you be a Caucasian person, they're coming after. They're gonna come after you. They're gonna come after you. It's interesting. It's too long of a video. Like we can't put in. We can't play the video here right now or anything like that. But it's interesting. It's thought provoking. I think it's thought provoking. And when you read the comments under it, you hear, you see different people's point of view and perspectives on things and stuff about like what he was saying in the video. He's a controversial figure, I think, Officer Tatum, because he says some stuff that a lot of people may not a lot of people are afraid to say, or maybe and then if they're, that's probably for the Caucasian folk, and then if you're a person of color, you might be like, really, like, did he just say that? Like, maybe some people might think he's a little off his rocker, some people. But yeah, he's an interesting person. He has some, but he argues that it's made up.
I'm going to argue that it's not made up, and I'm going to argue that your whole conversation just negated the whole valuing, even though your conversation is geared towards being inclusive and whatnot. There needs to be change to where we can all feel that. People can't just innately feel your feelings, or my feelings, or whatever. So, gosh, I wish I could speak more clearly. You just spoke how so many white people speak and feel, and it makes sense, but it still doesn't make sense, though, because when you've got a group of people that aren't being treated fairly in so many different ways, when you look at our government, we've got laws that were put into place to lock people up. And, our whole judicial system is fucking crazy right now. You've got people that, gosh. I totally get what you're saying, but I'm just saying that there's still so much injustice that we can't, even though that's our ideal and that there are exceptions to the rules, there are so many people that are still so suffering that we have to pay attention to the people that are suffering and not worry about us that are okay right now, I guess is my point. So the fact that there are many people that are okay is fantastic, but I think we can't let that overshadow that there are so many changes that need to be made, and we just have to get down to business. So when you're talking about, kind of like, can't we all just get along or whatever? Yeah. Well, if we could, we wouldn't be in this position. Too many people are being hurt in all different kinds of ways throughout, life, financially and with jobs and just stuff that it has to change. And until we take the, I don't know. I don't even know how to say my words right now. I apologize that I'm... No,
it's okay. It's cool. It's a deep topic. There's so many layers.
There are a lot of layers. Yeah, there are a lot of layers. I think our concentration really just needs to be where the problems are right now, rather than where it's okay. Because where it's okay is already okay. But where the problems are is where the conversation needs to be so that things can happen. I don't even know how the hell to instill change. And what makes me angry is that we've known of this problem for quite some time. I mean, it's not been a problem, but nobody, not our black representatives nor our white representatives, have done anything to correct it. So in one respect, it's kind of like, if you've got a black representative in your city and in your state and in your government, why have they not pushed towards things being corrected? And then, we get on these bandwagons, shall we say, like we are right now, out of necessity, but still, where are the white people making the difference?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like what it's going to take is we common folk, you know, myself and a couple friends, whatever, it's going to take we common folk to continue pressing government and, you know, our states and whatnot to make change for it to happen, because clearly the people that are representing us haven't done shit when it's been a fucking problem for, you know, before I was fucking alive. So I don't know. I just think that it's fantastic that there are things that are perfect or, you know, more okay, but we can't discount that there's still stuff that has to be corrected, and that's where our concentration needs to be. So that's why people get so angry when we say all lives matter, because genuinely they just do. But right now we need Black lives to matter so that we can get on track with making corrections. And for God's sake, I have to figure out what that even entails, because I just don't even know enough about government to know what that looks like or whatnot. But there are people in town, and I just have to, you know, kind of stick my nose into the business and figure out what needs to be done, because I think that society is finished with non-action. I mean, we had a black president and not shit got changed as far as social injustice. So I think that, you know, we really we can't keep counting on that somebody else is going to do it. We've got to take some sort of responsibility and just start working on it. So I'll check into, you know, for myself what that might look like and what my contribution can be. But I don't know. That's really just the whole fight, is that, yes, everybody's valuable, but until everybody can live genuinely as they're valuable, then we've got to do something different. And we have to put our focus on that.
Okay, thank you. Now, white guilt. I found definition of white guilt. Maybe no one's heard of the term white guilt. According to dictionary.com, they define it as white guilt are the feelings of shame and remorse some white people experience when they recognize the legacy of racism and racial injustice and perceive the ways they have benefited from it. There's also some information they say, like, white guilt, hating, let's see, that's like what someone said, Stephen Organ, someone commented, oh yeah, I think this is from like a pop culture thing, that someone said, what white guilt is what misguided liberal white people feel when blacks blame the issues in their community or their community on something that happened with a small area in the southern United States more than 200 years ago. So I guess like white guilt being like when a Caucasian person feels bad, pretty much for basically being Caucasian, like being born Caucasian and feeling like the problems, you know, like they're kind of a part of the problems of people of color just by how they were born, like, you know, no choice of their own, basically feeling bad for being Caucasian, like they're part of the problem.
I don't feel bad for being Caucasian, because I really just don't even think that I'm part of the problem.
Right.
I know that I can be part of the solution, and I'll have to figure out how to do that. But I've never personally felt white guilt. That's actually a newer term for me. Like didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Have you heard of it before, Jason?
No, this is actually the first time that I hear of white guilt.
Yeah. I've heard of it before. And even with everything going on right now in the current climate of civil unrest, there is a segment of society where they are suffering from what is described as white guilt. And like I saw there's like they've had meetings, there's been meetings with Caucasian people who are like basically denouncing the fact that they're Caucasian, like feeling like
For the love of
openly
God.
like feeling bad and apologizing
Right.
for the how they were born, and renouncing it and
Renouncing
being
it.
like BLM.
But what I don't think that you have to denounce or deny who you are to be in support of other people. I think it sounds ridiculous to be like, oh, I'm not claiming whitey today. You know,
Right,
like that
right,
doesn't even
yeah.
make sense to me. But
Yeah,
wow, I don't
there's a
think
group
that you
of
have to
people,
denounce everybody. Gosh, everybody is so precious. It's like,
Yeah.
you hate that somebody would hate how they were born, or hate who they are, or feel like they want to not associate with it because of the way things are. That's just so
It's like what I
discouraging.
shared a while ago in the good news. You have to accept yourself regardless
Right.
of the way people think of you or what you feel about yourself.
And then just fucking do right by people.
Just and love yourself, accept yourself, and love yourself the same way that God loves you.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe God made us all. I believe He
Different.
made us all. Right. I guess if He wanted us all to look alike, we would all look alike.
Correct, yeah.
But He made different. He made us. We're all humans, and He sprinkled a little here, a little there, a little
Little
color
there,
here, a little
yeah.
texture there, a little bit of this there. And
We're like
and-
Neapolitan ice cream.
and so we come in all color, shapes,
Yes,
and sizes,
yes.
all textures, and all of this and all of that.
Mhm.
And so for people to feel bad because they were born Caucasian, that doesn't make. I mean, that's that, because at the end of the day, nobody could help what shade we were born. Okay, we can't help what family we were born into, or the circumstances, or where we're at in the pecking order in society.
Mhm.
Nobody chooses those things. Like you said, like we should accept. And is it right to hold Caucasian people responsible for the plight of? Is it okay to blame Caucasian people for the sins of some of their ancestors? Is it fair? Is that right? Should we hold you accountable for the slavery that your ancestors might have done here in our country? Like, should we hold you accountable? Like, did you have anything to do with that? Like, you didn't have anything to do with that.
Right.
You didn't have anything to do with that.
Right. And I don't come from a family that did either. My family is newer to the United States than that. But I so had a thought.
Okay, well, it might come
I
back,
so had a thought.
But none of us
But we can
alive
hold
had
each other-
nothing to do with stuff
Right.
that happened hundreds of years ago.
But it's still all of our responsibility, though, to press us forward in a good fashion, and nobody's done that. I mean, not nobody's tried, or not nobody, but it hasn't happened yet. So I think the responsibility comes in at that things have to be done now, and it's deemed that the white community are going to be, or should be, the ones to do that. So, when you look at people that are fighting for the Black Lives Matter or whatnot, part of their stance is that this isn't going to change until the white mentality changes, and until white people make some progress in this effort. And I can kind of agree with that, but I'm also kind of like, well, there are black politicians, there's black governors, there's black mayors, there's black this and that, and we've not done for ourselves in any of these fashions, not with white people or black people or whatever. But there are some people that would argue that it's a white problem to fix, and it is to a degree with the mentality that there are definitely white people out there that don't find value in everybody's lives. And when I've gone and looked at the comments on things when the president is speaking or whatever, it is so flaming out there that it kind of shook me that I didn't realize there were so many people that were just fucking off their rocker. just off their rocker with racism.
Yeah. And I also think that there's this misconception though that like people of color can't be racist, but they can be racist too.
I feel well,
people of color can be racist too.
Right.
And they can be racist towards Caucasian people. They can be racist to people within their own.
Well, right.
Within their own whatever group they
Racist
call
towards
themselves.
Asians
The
as
difference,
well, yeah.
though, is that their not liking me doesn't affect me. Their not liking me doesn't affect me. But if I don't like them, I can do things about it. You know, like I can sway my coworker to maybe not give, you know, Joey an opportunity, or I can whatever. Black people can't sway my life in the same way that I could potentially sway theirs. You can't, a black person can't oppress me. You know, somebody, nobody can really do that. But
well,
we
do
can
two
do it
wrongs
to
make
them.
a right though?
Say it again.
But do two wrongs make a right? I mean, how does hate and hate equal a beautiful thing? I mean, I don't.
It definitely doesn't.
Like if there's like Mexican Americans, you know, hating on Caucasian people, like, or any other group, like hate. I mean, I think hate is hate at the end of the day. It's all not good,
and that's why we're still where we're at.
Not, it's all not good. So
yeah.
it's not okay for you know someone to hate someone else just because of this. It's negative. I feel like negativity is just not going to yield beautiful things. Like and the more layers of negativity that is thrown on there is not going to yield this beautiful flower that's going to grow and thrive. It's just going to keep yielding more weeds and putting more weeds in that flower bed. Nothing beautiful will come of it. And as far as like communities of color, should communities of color be looking to say just the Caucasian people to save them? Is it the Caucasian people's role to save the communities of color? No, I don't think so. I think where opportunity and stuff. What about the community of color? The communities of color, what about their roles and responsibilities, and also working to try to help improve those circumstances? What about that response? What about those responsibilities as well? Can everyone blame the Caucasian people? Like, can everyone just be like, you know, they say like blame the white man. Blame the white man. It's the white man keeping the people of color down. And so then there's that can breed a level of or a mentality of victimization with people of color.
And it does. I would agree.
Victimization. Okay, and with that victimization like mentality, it can make it harder to pull oneself up from their bootstraps and try to and the things that they can control, you know, find a way out, find a way to make things better for their circumstances. Does that make you
No, it does. But I think that when no, and I totally get and I agree with you, but I think that when, like I was saying, when I grew up, I knew that I could be anything I wanted to be, and I knew I had that. When you are growing up and for generations your people have not been treated well and you've been discouraged time and time again by situations, their self-talk and their talk to their children and their talk to their family, for one, needs to be different to a degree. For safety's sake, you've got, you know, to teach your kids a little bit more about safety, but as well, that starts to breed, and I don't necessarily want to call it a victim mentality, which it can get into, but just the talk is different. The self-talk is different. The encouragement is different. There's encouragement, I would guarantee, but it's with an undertone of, but you always have to watch your back and you always this and that. You know,
that white privilege is real.
Right. You know, and here's kind of another little twist on it, that because I would deem you to have white privilege, just based off of how you're able to live your life. I have 5 children and they're all biracial. They're black and they're white. But my children grew up with me and they were presented with life how I view life.
Mhm.
So my black children, my biracial children, I would deem as having white privilege because of the mentality and the circumstances that they found themselves in. For one, I live in a white neighborhood, way
Mhm.
white. You know, I live
Yeah.
in a gated community. They've always been in the best schools. They've not had the same plight as, you know, a traditional, not maybe traditional, but as, you know, more of a black person would. But like I've got family members that are married to black men, and their kids were raised in such a good nature that I would deem them as having white privilege,
Mhm.
quite honestly. How they think, how they manage themselves, what they do, the things that they've been able to accomplish. So part of it is definitely, in my mind, a mindset, but that doesn't negate, you know, still the changes or the work that needs to be done. But I totally get what you're saying. It's like we are also breeding our kids for how we teach them how to think. And so if we're teaching them to think one way, it could be beneficial or it could be harmful. And I think that a lot of communities, based off of everything that they that too. I apologize. I just read what she said and I lost my thought. But Jeff had a comment that, you know, it sucks that we have to be enslaved to the Black Lives Matter. But you're right. Until things get adjusted, we kind of are enslaved to that. You know.
But should we be enslaved to anything, really?
Mhm.
I mean,
no. But
I mean, from my understanding, Black Lives Matters, you know, as for like defunding the police and like taking the police out of the community. Who's going to keep law and order if there's no police?
Exactly.
Are you volunteering? Are you volunteering?
Oh,
Is Maria
God, no.
volunteering? I'm definitely not volunteering.
No, I'm not gonna be.
And
Jamie, I have a lot of boyfriends.
She does.
I
Yeah.
love them.
She's
I
the-
collect them.
She's the temple virgin.
you know, we can't have a lawless in this country. We cannot have a lawless society. Our country is not founded on lawlessness, and if people want lawlessness, I say go find some other place and go live your lawless life in another country, someplace. Go somewhere else. You know, like if our country's
Who
so
needs
bad,
a mouthwash? Me?
if our
I need mouthwash.
Oh my God.
I do brush my teeth extra. I like to be clean.
Yeah.
It's like if our country's so terrible and so rotten and so bad and people don't like the laws or whatever, just go take yourself, get your stuff, and go find some place to become an expat. They're called expat.
I know
Expatri-
people love to
you
say
know,
that, but how logical is it that they can actually move, though?
Well, you know,
They're
hey,
not,
how
you
logical
know.
is it to try to destroy everything
Right.
and burn this country down? How logical is that? You know, the very country that gave the people the right to protest, like really, the same country that has given those people those opportunities, you know, same country want to burn down. Where's the reasoning in that? Like, there's a way to go about things. So if reform is needed and people want to bring change and stuff, I guess I would say there's a right way and a wrong way. And so then when people do some crazy stuff, it's taking away from whatever, if there's a good message in there, it's taking away, because then people are focused on the people who are doing crazy stuff. It's taken away from whatever good stuff that might be in that message. The good message could be getting lost.
I don't think that it takes away from the message, honestly, because I think that we're all smart enough to know that some of it is staged, some of it is, you know, premeditated by naughtier people than just the naughty people. Like, I think that we can all differentiate from that. I am of the school of thought that if we don't keep pressing forward and having this stuff come to a head and having it be a social disruption and having it be a pain in the ass for law enforcement or government to have to deal with, shit's not going to change. So the fact that we're kind of losing our shit right now, and the fact that we're out here doing stuff that is maybe not quite right, in my mind, though, is still a move in the right direction, because doing it nicely and sweetly, like nothing got done. So I'm almost hoping, and I'm a severe optimist like you are, I think, Ty, that if something finally boils over well enough and far enough and to enough of a degree, that this will be the time that we finally get change. So I don't like that it's all up in arms, but I'm also like, I don't think we should lose our umph with it, and I don't think we should lose our outrage with it, and I don't think we should lose the activity that people are trying to do, because I think it needs to boil over a little bit more before things actually happen. Nothing has ever changed before. Nothing has ever changed. We've had Martin Luther King and shit didn't change, well enough. So I'm not completely opposed to all of, well, it didn't change well enough because people are still hurting and people are, still.
I mean, he practiced a non-violent approach to bringing on change, and it
Right.
worked. I mean, he helped lead like the civil rights movement, even though like slavery had been abolished, some years ago, and people were still being treated poorly and wrong.
Right. But we're still having problems today. It didn't solve everything. Not enough was solved. Not enough
he was
solved,
snuffed out. Somebody assassinated him, and it's sad that, and sometimes like people have to give their life trying to make to try to.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
They're asking you.
Who are these people? Us three.
Who are we?
Yeah, who are we?
We're three regular folk just like you.
Yeah, just like you.
We're three regular folk just like you. Brothers and sisters in Christ.
Yes.
I think, I think, so with, he was gone too soon. He was gone too soon, but he did help start something. But then when we look at the problems and stuff in society or in certain parts of the country or certain communities, you look at that time frame, there's also stuff going on that has affected communities of color still today. Like back before that time frame, like 50s, 60s, families in general were more intact back then. Father, mother, kids, working, the parents working together to help raise the kids. But right around, about the 1960s or so, that's kind of where the breakdown of the family started, creeping in and started to take hold. And so I would say that the baby boomer generation was kind of where the breakdown of the family kind of really took hold. And so then the boomers, right, they're like the older people now, their kids are who, like Generation Xers and the Generation X, Y, and then now the Generation X and Y now have some of the kids that are the children that are children nowadays. So since baby boomer generation, it's been even more common to have broken families for their kids. The boomers' kids now breakdown of family has really played a role. And sometimes people think it only affects like the color communities of color, but there's also just breakdown in family in general, I would say, across the board. And so when you have a lot of breakdown of family, then, we have, some of, I would say it has affected a lot of things just in American society in general. That's maybe a little sort of kind of related to maybe why some of the communities are struggling so much, because there aren't as many whole families in their communities and other communities as well. when the breakdown of the family. Does it guarantee though that the children are going to be messed up and can't perform, can't grow up and be wonderful and successful? No, it doesn't guarantee that, because there's family, there's kids who've come out and done great things and they were raised by single parents, or their grandparents or whatever. So having two parents guarantee success? No, it doesn't. But when we're looking at some of the issues that have some of the things that have been challenges for people to rise above whatever their situation or circumstances are. For some people, we have to also consider the breakdowns of family that happened those decades ago, and we're still having an issue with it even today, because now you have children who've had children and a cycle kind of repeats itself. A lot of the times, not all the time, but a lot of the times it does. So I think our country, we just need so much love. We need so much love. We need some Band-Aids. We need to come together. We need to try to put some Band-Aids on these wounds, because I think these things are kind of interconnected in certain ways. And it would take a large initiative, to try to bring the kind of healing, the kind of change that I think that our country needs. Less of this and stomping down on people, and more of this and working together to try to continue to help our country. Yeah. It's sad what's going on. It's sad. It's sad, all of these things. And I don't know if other people have felt it, but I have personally felt it. I felt it. I'm just it's the pandemic, and then now it's the protesting and stuff, and it's just, I feel like our country is crying. I feel like in general our country is crying. If you could take our country and put it here, I saw on someone's post it was the American flag, and then you could see a person's face through it, and there was a tear coming through. Yeah. And to me, that's the best representation I have seen of for as how I feel what our country is going through right now. It's just, there's a lot of sadness and stuff. Yes. And we need to find a way to try to make it better. And whether, if it's folks who are, supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, and that's totally cool, and it's totally okay if that's where your heart and your conscience is. But if people aren't supporting it, does it mean that they're racist? No, not necessarily. They may just have certain issues with certain aspects of that movement. And it should be okay to have a different opinion. If you're if you don't agree with BLM, it doesn't automatically mean you're a bad person, or that you're racist, or that you're negative, or you don't want change and you want things to stay the way they are. It doesn't necessarily mean that. Everyone, we all have our own brain. We have our own conscience. And, we do what we feel is best in our conscience. I think, we do. And however, to try to bring on that change, needs to sit well within our own conscious. And let's just try not to tear each other down. Let's try to come together, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on or whatever. Let's just try to, like Rodney King said, why can't we all just get along? Why can't we all just get along? We need to try to get along, because at the end of the day, we all bleed the same color blood. We all bleed the same blood, No one's blood is different. We all. Well,
mine's
human.
Extra sweet.
Yours. How would you know? Did you get bit by a vampire who told you so?
I was trying to get bit.
Mine is intoxicating.
Yours is intoxicating, JC. Well, that sounded like a good closing argument for me. Was that your closing statement?
No.
Maybe. I know the hour is getting maybe a little late. So, it's going on 8. So,
We talked about a lot.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
I know.
You know,
I
Michael
know.
Jackson, we are the world.
Yes.
Make the world a better place.
Yeah, heal the world.
Now I'm gonna have
You
that
know,
Make
song
it a
in
better
my-
place.
You
yeah.
know, if,
hmm
you know.
And I'm talking to the man
I was
in
just
the
about
mirror.
to say his song, Man in the
Jesus.
Mirror.
Uh-huh,
Remember,
yeah.
I mentioned Man in the Mirror a couple weeks ago. Remember, it starts
Yeah.
with us. It really does. It starts with that person in the mirror.
I just wanted to throw something
Yeah.
in about white privilege. I know
Yeah.
that it's pretty late right now in the subject, but there was a time in the fashion industry that there were 10 models, and one of them could be black, but just one. So that means that all the other black models had to compete for that position.
Mm-hmm.
And it seemed like 30 years ago, Tyra and Naomi were competing for that. But of course, Naomi had more seniority than Tyra, and she always got the job.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyra was kind of tossed to the side all the time. And that was her hurt and bitterness towards the situation. And she would always go home crying at night as to why she would go there and she would just get canceled.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because of Naomi. But over the years, you know, she gathered more fame and all that, and she became what she is today.
Mm-hmm.
But those things were settled one time in one talk show. It was one-on-one between Naomi and Tyra.
Oh.
In front of the entire world. I'm like, wow. Like
Whose
these
show
two-
was it on?
Tyra.
Tyra's?
Mm-hmm. Tyra's show, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it was pretty cool to see that. And once again, you know, I thought that the problem was between, of course, everybody was looking at the biatch, you know, Naomi and that. But then when I saw the bigger problem, it was the white privilege that was happening in the fashion industry. Because why couldn't be there another room for another black model, you know, to sashay down that runway?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
So
would you argue today it's better though?
it's much better
more
now.
Inclusive
And
for
it's much better
people
now,
of
and-
color and
yeah.
maybe people who don't necessarily fit the exact stereotype.
Right. And kudos to YSL, who may he rest in peace, but he was the one who brought in a lot of black models on the runway.
Nice.
Oh.
It was YSL.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So thank God for him.
I love how you always bring us back to fashion.
Oh, yes.
Are you saying the
I love
fashion
that.
industry is like a little snippet into like the
Well,
grand
like
thing
back
of
in the
society?
day,
It
because-
reflects what's going on.
Yes.
In our society.
Because things have evolved. I mean, I know that probably Barack Obama didn't do much, but Michelle did a lot of things for the industry. For
did
the
she?
fashion industry.
Oh yes,
yeah.
I think you mentioned her a couple
Mhm.
weeks ago. Like
Yes.
you know, wearing people of color like on her for her fashion and
Designers,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
That an Asian designer creating her gown.
Right. Yeah.
So-
That's. Yeah. I think we had maybe our country in general had hoped that he would kind of be that unifier, like you know, help bring that. Like, if anyone can do it, he can do it. He can
Yes.
bring us together. You know,
Right.
he's interracial. He's half of each. You know, he's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, maybe he could have, maybe he is the hope to help bring more change for, you know, everyone. Just helping to be that positive, like to kind of that unifier and stuff. I'm not so sure as much as like as you referenced, like I'm not so sure he did so much when it came to, I guess, what they call race relations or you know whatever, but you know it is, you know, but with him being elected, it opened the door. Our country, I showed our country that, hey, you know, we were ready and we could, you know, elect a leader
So Vanessa doesn't care about models,
Yeah.
but some of us do.
Some of us do, and I represent the fashion industry, and I'm here. And I have a show, Fab Life.
Okay. Yeah, so the door's been open. We spent last week talking about a woman who could, you know, why haven't we had a woman president? But I think with the election of President Barack Obama, the door has been, you know, it's open wider for women, and it's open wider for other interracial people, people of color, like just anyone that didn't look like this traditional president, you know, now the door has been cracked open. And, you know, we'll see when someone else may come along who looks different than the majority of our previous leaders. So we'll see.
Right.
We'll see what happens. Exciting times. So, but yeah, I think we had a good discussion. Thank you for the engagement of our audience, for submitting your questions and your comments. Thank you. We appreciate that. Thank you for tuning in. We hope that you found the discussion meaningful. Hope it's got you thinking, like it's got us thinking, and stuff. You know, what can we do? What can we do to help make our country you know, what can we do? What can each of us do to help, you know, be that change and to help make that change? Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. I think it's cool that you're thinking about it and wanting to figure it out, and I just, you know, I hope we can figure it out as a country and get ourselves out of this mess that we're in right now.
We're in a little bit of a pickle.
Not a good one of those sour, nasty ones. Not the sweet tangy ones, like with a little bit of sour, like really sour. But you know, yeah, we're in a bind. And let's all try to see what we can do to do our part to help make this world a better place.
So we'll be back next week.
We sure will.
5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Pacific Standard
like
Time
it.
every Tuesday. Please share the word with your friends. Please plan to join us again. Set your reminders, set your alarms, whatever you need to do.
I have a reminder and alarm. Starting on Monday night. Tomorrow's Tuesday.
I know, right? So, you know, lock us in every Tuesday at 5 o'clock. We thank you for lock us in. Thank you for your time. Please have a safe week, and may we all do our part to help make this world a better place.
Absolutely.
And may Tab have sex. Fingers crossed for me.
You're so silly, girl. Well, I'm sure you'll share next week. We'll see how your week goes.
Right. Trust and believe it's going to go fucking somewhere.
Girl. But thank you to each of you. Thank you for your time also, and thank you for sharing your viewpoints. I think we had a good show today. So.
No doubt.
Yay. Yes. All right. Take care. We'll see you next week, next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Social media shows. Tune in.
Bye.
This is Ty signing off, and the lovely
Tabitha.
And the lovely Hornet, JC.
And we look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, loves.
Much love.
If you enjoyed our program, you can subscribe to us.
A fairy tale, they say, real in every way.
Hi, my name is Ty, and I am a fashionista.
Hi, my name's Dolly Wright, and I'm a singer, but I waitress for a living.
Hi, I'm Alicia, aka Catalina Winehouse with Ichigo.
Hi everybody, my name's David Thomas. What I am is a QMHA. I work with people with mental health issues, and I also do a Tina Turner show with the Big Elvis show at the Piano Bar.
Hi, my name is Maria Pureza Leviton. I am the founder of Social Media Show.
Hello everybody, I am Kiki Dolas. I am the CEO of Are You It Entertainment here in Las Vegas, and I'm also a club owner.
Hi, I'm Latoria Kern, founder and director of Family Arts at Wayla's Creation.
Hi, my name is Dawn Weir. I'm the founder of The Giving Water, a local nonprofit that delivers water to disasters and people in need.
Hi, my name is Dolores Olson. I'm a home-based business person for Zija and for Beachbody. Also, I'm a chaplain.
Hey, this is Bettina Steinhauer. I'm a clothing designer and manufacturer bathing suits.
Hi, my name is Jessica D, and I currently work for one of the biggest properties on the Strip. I'm also a PhD student, and I own a jewelry business on the side.
Hi, my name is Jamie Springer, and I am an eyelash extension technician or artist.